Hello. On today's show, I'm going to talk about Sweet Tooth. Mike says there's some surprisingly close victories in Cover Combat 4 round 1.2. And May the 4th may have come and gone, but we're in for a super 7th. Welcome to your favorite live streaming, whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. I, as usual, am your fourth or fifth favorite podcasting host, Kevin, and we've got another awesome full house today. One of the reasons we are tardy again. You want to say what's up, Mike?
Really, is it my fault?
And then, of course, Patrick.
Hi, everyone.
It's totally your fault, Mike.
I wasn't not because we're this late, because we're late, but not this late.
Okay, anyway. Regardless, we
All
apologize. Yeah. And hopefully what you got going on holds up.
Yep.
Okay, so first thing I want to get into is that we do not have a winner for the Scruffle Skull giveaway yet. I mean, we have a winner, but we don't have, that person hasn't contacted us yet. He actually had 3 weeks this time, David the movie nerd. Right?
Yeah.
So we want to spin again, right?
Yeah. So when do we just throw in the towel and just put this stuff out in the corner for
never
pickup?
Never. I got all this awesome stuff around me now. You know, I do. Wait, I think you'll like what I have to say after we spin. Are you ready to spin, or you want me to say what I have to say first?
Yeah, I mean, you can. I'm ready either way.
Okay, then. Yeah, let's do it. Let's spin.
Okay. Put us to the side there. I have the list.
Oh, okay.
There it is. All right. So, okay.
Hold on.
Yeah. Am I still holding on?
All right, there we go. Yeah. When I got booted during the pregame, it took away my video file, so that's why I had to do that again. So anyway.
Oh, okay. All right.
So this is a list. So look for your name if you're on this. There are 2 people that are officially eliminated from the list. Number 1 and what? And he was number 50 or 48 or something.
17.
Oh
yeah, you're close. Close.
Oh, we were talking about the 50 or 48 because the scroll is over them at the bottom. Sorry. Okay, so David the Comic Nerd and AAA 2019 are their eligibility has expired. Let's spin and see who hopefully will respond to my messages this time. Hold up. Take the thing down.
Oh, well, it's already spinning. It can't hold up.
Uh-oh.
Number 31. Who's 31? Can you read that?
31 is Legends _C_and_G. Legends C and G with underscores in between everything. What's up with so many underscores between everything? But yeah, congratulations, Legends C and G. You've won a lot of awesome stuff. a CGC copy of Spider-Man, an action figure, a pop, a pack of Pokemon cards, movie tickets, and a digital code for Voodoo. It's a sick prize. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Legends will respond to me reaching out. But I'll start working on that today. You want to take that down, Mike?
Yeah, I do.
And we'll give Legends, just like AAA or 2019, a 2-week time frame to claim the prizes. David actually got 3 and failed, so we'll see. Oh, I should have left this up because I've got this to show now. I created the Scruffles Goal Sweepstakes 2. I'm just going to say duh all the time now. But anyway, Scruffles Goal Sweepstakes duh. What do you think of that awesome graphic? See, this is the limits of my graphic ability versus what Patrick does.
Hey, it works.
For cover combat all the time. And like I said, Mike, I think you might like this, that I think I've got a good plan for the standards of the Scruffles Goal Sweepstakes 2. You ready?
Yeah.
And this is starting today. So even though we haven't technically given away the prizes for Scruffles Gold 1, this is starting today. To be entered in Scruffles Gold 2, this is tough. Literally, all you have to do is contact us in any way that you want to be entered. Whether it be through the comments on our live stream, on any of our platforms, private messaging us on any platforms, I don't care. That's how you get entered in Scruffles Goal Sweepstakes. So I'm gonna keep calling it Scruffles Goals, because we still want you to subscribe and comment and retweet and follow and like and share. But to be entered in the Scruffles Goals, technically all you need to do is send us a message saying you want to be entered. That way, whoever's entered will have some semblance that they're actually paying attention. Yeah. I think that's what the problem was with the first one.
Yeah.
You know, people may have missed the fact that the Scruffles Goal Sweepstakes even exists, you know. And
when you contact them, you know, I don't know. I get messages from Walmart all the time.
What's ironic about? Sorry, go ahead. What did you say, Mike? Sorry.
There's messages from Walmart and other places that I won things, and I just
you drunk, Mike.
No one understood any of that, Mike.
All right.
Try again.
I get messages from Walmart all the time. One thing, and I ignore them.
Well, here's what's the irony with AAA and David. Both of them, because in their formats that they were, you know, on, that they subscribed to us or followed us or whatever the case was, AAA hadn't been on for like 2 years. Or no, it couldn't have been that long. But it was a long time. Let me just say that. I'm misspeaking, but it was a long time. They hadn't been on. Maybe it was 2 months. Yeah, that's probably what it was. They hadn't been on for like 2 months, and the last time David posted anything was 7 weeks ago. So it's like we're like just coincidentally catching these people when they decided I'm done with this, and they're just they're going. What's it called when you're trying? They decided they wanted to get off the grid right before they won a big prize. You know, so anyway, this way, hopefully, if people reach out and say, "Hey, I want to be entered," then, let's double down. They have to say they want to be entered, and then they still have to do one of those things, and then message us that they want to be entered. That's good. How's that sound? So you got to do one of those things and message us that you want to be entered. I don't want to get just random messages from people that don't do anything to help us grow, right?
Right.
And then I won't announce the prize yet, although I have said through the website that the prizes will grow as we grow, so it will be bigger than the last prize, which was this is already pretty huge, right? So it's huge. Bigger than this. That's all I can say so far. And then the goal for us, and this is the way I put it on the website. I don't know whether you guys checked the website like I mentioned yesterday, but I actually have it stated on the website. The goal for you is just to message us. The goal for us is to reach 150 subs. So Scruffle's goal 2 happens when we hit 150 subs, which ain't nothing, right?
No.
You think?
Exactly, I do think.
I keep looking at my internet connection. It keeps going from stable to unstable. It's like I'm on a fault line or something here.
All right, so Legends, yeah, reach out to us. I'll post about that later. So moving on to the more exciting thing, but seemingly what might give us the most tech woes. But you're up, Mike. Are you ready?
I don't know if the internet is.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. Boom! You are ready, Mike. Nice. Here we are, cover combat. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Good. No, it just popped up on my phone because I have to watch it on my phone since I'm looking at the screen. So, good, yeah, it's working. All right, let's hurry up before everything crashes.
Okay. So these are going to be the cover combat for round 1.1 reveal, the winner reveals. Got it.
Correct. Yeah, there were a lot of there were some really close ones, but everything were very similar in it's like everybody voted like in groups. Like this group all voted for this cover. This group all voted for this cover. You know.
Okay.
So the percentages
with you guys. I plugged in my mic at the last second too. Is my mic good?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, good. You sound good too, Pat.
No, thanks.
Bunch of Barry Whites over here. Right.
All right, Mike. What we got?
All right. So the first matchup. This was some of these matchups were great. You know, we've got. There we go. Hulk 345 by Todd McFarlane versus Savage She-Hulk #1.
That's a great matchup for multiple reasons. You know, not only obviously two great artists and two great covers, but both of them being Hulks is pretty cool. So
yeah. And the winner here had 53% of the vote.
All right, drum roll.
All right. I don't want a lot of drum rolls. We don't have time for all of them.
Oh, we don't. The drum rolls are like 10 seconds. Kara doesn't want to do either, so just go ahead.
All right. Imaginary drum roll. And the winner is Hulk 345. That's not imaginary.
Awesome.
I don't know when it's showing up to you guys whenever I reveal, because I'm hitting the button and then there's like a 5-second delay on my phone and there's a delay on my computer. So I need you guys to either say something like, "Oh man," or "woo," or something let me know that it showed up.
Okay, well, it seemed like as soon as you hit, so basically you hit it and Hulk was revealed as the winner, and then Karen's drum roll started. That was the series of events there.
All right, so there we go. The Hulk beats out She-Hulk.
Yeah, that's sad. I agree with the audience that, and you might find that hard to believe with me, obviously being a big Todd fan. Mm-hmm. I think that Savage She-Hulk is more of a classic cover, but I love this. I love this Hulk cover as well. But yeah, I would have predicted that Savage She-Hulk would have won, but that goes for our audience again. I think. Yeah, it seems like they don't like the classic stuff too much.
Yeah. Well, I like McFarlane's work. His Hulk. I like everything up until his head. It's kind of. I was that problem.
I like his head too. I love McFarlane's Hulk. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I just thought it was too smushed, but I guess it's supposed to be all, monstrous.
What do you think?
Yeah, just like Mike was getting ready to say there, he really dove into the monster version of the Hulk.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have Defenders 125 by Bill Sienkiewicz versus War of the Bounty Hunters 1 by Clayton Crane. The winner here had 58% of the vote.
Okay.
All right.
Drum
roll. Oh, late.
Oh!
All right. For those listening at home, War of the Bounty Hunters #1 by Clayton Crane.
Nice. I'm happy about that. Bounty Hunter moves on. Hey Mike, can you try to time when you hit and this is we'll see how synced we all are. When you hit the reveal right at the end of Karen's drum roll, can you do that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll wait for her.
And then we'll see. We'll know when you hit it, and versus when we can see it. Yeah.
Okay, next up, Batman One Bad Day #1 by Jim Lee versus Punisher 4 by Mike Zeck.
So you put up a better picture of the Punisher to where that strap, that it was a strap, was more distinctive, making the neck not look so stretchy, Stretch Armstrongy, right?
Johnny shared that, but this is this original picture that I used.
It's still the same one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't change it.
What were you saying that Valor fixed in the TikTok post, Pat?
It's one of those deals, just like I talked about last week, where TikTok crashes on you.
Yeah.
And you have to restart. And I had already restarted once, and it put duplicate pictures in there, duplicate matchups, and omitted a couple of them. So I had to redo the whole thing one more time. So,
okay.
Valor's the one who noticed it. So
okay, good on Valor then. Yeah. And anybody who is listening or wants to know, Pat makes some great posts for advertising Cover Combat on TikTok. So it's good stuff. You do a great job, Pat. And Pat, your commercial for cover comics and collectibles in general this week was awesome. It's probably my favorite of any videos that you've ever made so far. It was so good, right?
Thanks.
Right, Mike? All right, Mike. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack you. And the winner is.
All right, Karen, drum roll. I don't know. Batman, One Bad Day
game. All right, we're gonna hash this out right now, Mike.
What?
You need to try to time it to where, because like you said, there was like a 5-second delay before we could see it. Pat, you concur with that?
Yeah, I think it's the problem is Mike is using two different sources. So
right. Yeah, I got it. So Mike, you need to try to predict about 2 or 3 seconds prior to, because the drum roll is the same length every time. So try to predict 3 seconds prior to the drum roll ending is when you need to hit it.
Right, I am.
I thought you said that time you were going to do it exactly when the drum roll ended.
No, I tried to have it pop the picture up just as the drum roll does the end, as it's supposed to. But it's my delay. That's the thing. When I'm hitting my button to advance, it might be a delay on when, because you figure, like I said, my internet's slow. The drum roll was all breaking up and not smooth on my sound. So, It's like
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to use a screwdriver on a flathead screw. It's just not working real good.
Yeah, I gotcha. But can I ask you a favor real quick?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, let's go back to the beginning, which was don't try to predict the time. Just hit it as soon as you hear the drum roll end is when I want you to hit it.
Oh, okay. So you want me to hear it end, and then okay.
Yeah, I want you as soon as you hear it end, hit it.
Right. All right.
Then we can calculate how long it's been since you've hit it that we actually see.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then the following one will have the right answer.
Yeah.
But for this one, you're just going to hit it right when you hear the drum roll end.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, this all sounds good in theory, but I'm not sure in practice how it's going to work.
We'll see how.
I feel like his internet is up and down and this sideways and left ways and right ways. So it's never going to be the same. So,
well, all we can do in theory is try it once. That's all I want to do is try it once. All right.
Yep. So here goes Captain America.
Hold on. And then Karen, I wanted to say this. Karen, wait to do the clap after Mike says the title because our podcast numbers are growing like crazy. Shout out to all the podcast listeners. So we wanted to make sure the podcast listeners hear the title. So wait till after we hear Mike say the name of the title before you hit the clapping, Karen. So we'll get all this hashed out. As soon as we do, we'll get over.
Before the show.
What'd you say?
We should get together before the show.
All right. All right, I'm ready. What do we got now, Mike?
All right, we have Captain America 332 by Mike Zeck versus Avengers 57 by John Buscema. And the winner here, 58% of the vote. Again.
Well, Pat.
Oh, snap. I did it on the symbol. Captain America 332. There we go.
I had something to say about this beforehand. Anyway, Mike, so you said you hit it on the symbol that time?
Well, when the symbol ended, yeah.
That was almost perfect, Pat, didn't you think?
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh my So this time we're going to stick with the same thing again, Mike. Just wait till you hear the symbol and then hit it. Okay? Right, Karen, here's the way this is going to go. Mike's going to say the titles and the numbers. We're going to discuss it for 10 seconds. And then somebody, Mike or I, will say drum roll or what, when we'll let you know when we want to go to drum roll. My question was going to be before this one, Mike, Pat already discussed or actually stated that, multiple times that he doesn't like this Captain America. What was your prediction of those two? Obviously you have the numbers ahead of time anyway, but what was your thoughts on that? Well, who'd you vote for essentially?
I have to look back because I love both. Actually I voted for Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. We all three.
I love them both, but it's just
yeah.
That's how I feel like Cap on that cover right now. There's just so many things about that cover I don't like, and there's so many good Mike Zeck Captain America covers, and I just do not like at all. From the logo being at an angle but still being straight on, from the Abraham Lincoln in the corner box crying, I think if the corner box was the normal corner box and the logo was done better, I wouldn't have such a problem with this cover.
Right. Ah, really? Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Let's see if we can nail this next one. The fifth time's the charm.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Spawn 318 Todd McFarlane versus X-Men number 11 by Jim B. The winner here, once again, 58% of the vote.
Have they all been 58% up to this point?
No, the first one was 53%.
Okay,
but then
they're all in the 50s though. That's
yeah,
interesting.
then they've been 58. And it doesn't stop there. There's a bunch of 58%. So that's why I said it's like everybody voted in groups.
That's
Not
crazy.
if everybody was the same people in that group. Yeah.
I'm going to be happy either way this one goes. What about you, Pat?
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right,
these are both good.
Mike.
Real quick, I was surprised how, classic this X-Men cover is. This is, and I went back looking after this was submitted. I'm like, this doesn't look familiar to me. Yeah, I'm missing this issue.
No.
I mean, this was when I was in the Marine Corps, so I was probably, I'd have to look at when it came out. I was either stationed in Okinawa or over in the Gulf, something like that. It's my collection at that period is real sporadic. That's why this one never really registered with me because I never saw it.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. If I'm going to complain, well, I've got a small complaint with both of these covers. One, Spawn, it's a complaint that I've made a bunch of time with a bunch of covers. There's not a lot going on. It's like half of it is great and the other half is kind of not too exciting. And then with X-Men, similar to Punisher, his neck seems to be a little stretchy. A little long there for my, but it's not bad. It's just, it is teetering right there on it for me,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that Spawn is perfect. I mean, the city and the moon are fantastic. Get all those details in the city. And then I love silhouettes. So yeah, that one's got everything going for it for me.
Yeah. I love both of them. Let me just state that. I was just saying, if I was going to be critical, that's what I'd say. All right.
Well, unfortunately, only one of them gets to move on. Spawn. Yep.
Sorry. It was my turn to butcher it there. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Yeah, Spawn 318. Nice.
Yeah, Spawn moves on.
Sorry, Mike. That was all good, though. That was all good, except for me saying that. Everything was timed perfect. Yeah. So let's do that again. But I'll shut up.
Good. I kind of flinched and I hit it just a hair earlier this time than last time. All right. Next up, we have Venom 155 by Francisco Matina versus Lost Universe 2 by Bill Sienkiewicz. And once again, the winner got 58% of the vote.
Nice. The flat round, the flat covers. What I mean by flat, like that matte, flat matte, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, real, the color palettes aren't real vibrant, except for that Spider-Man mask, which that's what I like so much about that Venom.
Seriously, that picture of Venom, I'm gonna say it here. You heard it first. That might be my new favorite picture of Venom. That is ridiculous. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way I like him, where he's not all, like
ridiculous. Yeah,
slimy and tongue saliva everywhere. It's just he's just looks creepy.
He's just mean. Yeah, mean and creepy. That's a good way to put it, Mike. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that Lost Universe. I meant to look that up after. I'm gonna definitely do that, but I don't know who I want to win here.
What's that?
I said I was saying I don't know who I want to win here. What about you, Mike?
I agree with you on the Venom. That's the one I voted for. I like that one. The Lost Universe is great, but it's just not my thing. I'm not into that kind of storytelling and stuff.
Yeah. Pat, what about you?
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of that Venom cover.
Really? So you want the Lost Universe to win then?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well, only one can win, Karen.
You seem pretty indifferent about it, Pat.
Yeah, it's not my favorite Bill Sienkiewicz, but it still tops that Venom in my
Okay,
mind.
so essentially, you just don't care for this round, this
Yeah, it's
matchup at all.
not a strong matchup for me. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Emily had that problem with all of them.
Oh,
All
wow.
of them. Every one. She's like, I don't like either of these.
Wow.
I don't like these.
Wow.
She like maybe out of all of them, she liked a couple, but overall, yeah, she was not feeling these covers at all.
All right.
So that was not
I
fun.
got a why is there so much Spawn comment from my wife?
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah, you've got. Yeah, I mean, Matina Spawn, McFarlane Spawn, Jim Lee Spawn. Dang. Yeah, there's a lot of Spawn.
Hold on.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, looks like 4.
There's 4?
5.
Oh, you're talking in the entire thing, not this round.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm talking the whole thing, but she hasn't even seen 3 of them.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She can't wait. She told me she can't wait. She hopes for more Spawn.
Yeah.
And I said, well, just get ready because it's coming.
It's coming. Yep. Cover Combat 5. What's your favorite Spawn cover?
Hey, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Karen, let's go. And there you go. Patrick, Lost Universe 2.
Wow.
Victorious.
Boy, that sort of gives me hope that Sienkiewicz can do well in this cover combat. If he can beat Venom.
Yeah. I'm very surprised.
I love
by
this
that one.
cover. Yeah.
Those books, I think they're probably very affordable, Kevin. I don't think there's.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah.
It kind of got lost in the shuffle. We talked about Gene Roddenberry. I think I looked it up then. He died in 1991, and I think this came out in like 95. So,
wow. Also, obviously, he didn't have anything to do with making sure it was something he approves of. But, yeah, I'll check it out. I'll let y'all know.
Yep. All right, here we go. Hulk 340 versus by Todd McFarlane versus Elektra Black, White, and Blood #1 by Bill Sienkiewicz. The winner had 68% of the vote. This one, little greater division there.
Please, Lord. Hulk 340 has to make it out of the first round at least this time. Please. I'm done. Pat, what say you?
Has to be out.
Second chances come through for the Hulk here.
No, I'm saying it has to make it out of the first round this time. It got eliminated in the first round in Cover Combat 1.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to the winner here.
Yes.
And there you go. Hulk 340 moves on.
Thank you.
Yeah, poor Bill Sienkiewicz on that one.
Yeah, that Elektra was a great cover, but yeah, this one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to for us old timers, it's hard to not like just really love this one.
You love this one, right, Pat?
Yeah, I do like this one.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about some critique on it, especially compared to the new one that was out, but it's still amazing. So okay, cool, awesome.
All right, next up, Modern Warfare 2 #1 by Jim Lee versus Conan 96 by John Buscema. The winner here, back to old voting, 58%.
Nice.
Of the votes.
I love that.
I love that Conan. The Ghost one, there's just, I don't know, the color palette's it's all the same.
Yeah.
Hard for my eyes to focus on that. It's really good, but I have to really concentrate on it. Where the Conan, it just pops right there.
Yeah, I think the Conan's it's more colorful. It's obviously great art in general. It's Conan. Modern Warfare's, it's a great picture, but it's very bland. And Ghost, Modern Warfare Ghost, whoever heard of that? I haven't. Pat, what about you? What say you?
This was another sort of tough it was a tough matchup, but one I wasn't really invested in because I love me some John Buscema, but I'm not a big Conan fan.
But so you like this cover, but you're just not a Conan fan?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, there's a cool lion on it.
Yeah.
You like lions?
Yeah.
You like lions? Yeah. Yeah. I'm that way. You put a gorilla on the cover, and I'm voting for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna just assume Karen voted for this one because it has a lion. Oh, and she said she had this Conan when she was a kid. So
right. Yeah. All right. So the winner, and moving on, is Modern Warfare by Jim Lee.
what the heck, man? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
All the voters are like, what you just said is garbage, Kevin. So okay.
Like, I can't take the voters' word. I mean, their opinions are wrong, right?
No, we can't say that. We can't say that.
All right. So Ghost moves on.
Ooh, Karen double booed that one.
She really like Conan.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Next up, Spawn 284, Francisco Matina versus Captain America 286 from Mike Zeck.
All right, here's where Pat could lose his top if Spawn wins this one. Which I love that Spawn cover. What about you, Mike?
I love both of these for different reasons. Yeah, I mean, that's just such a great Mike Zeck cover. There's so much going on there.
Yeah, I agree. It's awesome. It is a great cover.
Yeah, it's like Patrick had said, Zeck has so many great Captain America covers, and this is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And the Matina, I like this one because it's kind of in, he's got that creepy style, but it's not overly horrific.
Yeah.
with violence and all that. So yeah, this was a tough one.
Yeah.
Are we ready for 58% again? 58% of the vote went to the winner. Dang, Spawn moves on. And Captain America doesn't make it.
Sorry,
literally, he was in the crosshairs.
I think of all the Matina covers I've seen so far, this is definitely my favorite. So
yeah, I'd have to say that Venom that was kicked out earlier was one of my favorites. I actually like it better than this one.
Wow, okay.
The green is striking on this.
And I just wanted to restate this about that Venom too. The Venom of that cover is my favorite Venom. That's not my favorite Venom cover, if that makes sense.
Right. You just like the way Venom's presented on that cover.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Marvel Age 90 by Todd McFarlane versus G.I. Joe 40. Another Mike Zeck. The winner here, let me throw this out real quick. The winner here, 74% of the vote. This was the greatest margin of victory.
Gonna have to guess that was the Spider-Man factor.
Man, I sure hope that you're wrong, Pat. I sure hope it's G.I. Joe. You hope it's G.I. Joe too, right?
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, okay. I thought you mentioned you love this G.I. Joe cover last when they showed it. I love this G.I. Joe cover.
Nah, I'm not a big. I think there's better Mike Zeck GI Joe covers out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The only thing I was going to say, I obviously love this Spider-Man, but I think there's so much writing. You know, there's so many words on this cover. It takes away from it. That's my complaint of it. You
Okay.
know, like,
Yeah, I can see that.
if it were just Marvel Age and with Spidey and none of that other stuff, because what they're advertising Jim Lee, they're advertising something winner.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, an X-Men appearance in here. I mean, it's just so much. That's why I like the G.I. Joe. That's my prediction on this one. What about you, Mike?
The GI Joe, I think I would like it if the camera per se was backed off just a little bit. It's just really close to the action, and it really feels crowded. I love the Marvel Age, and I like all the stuff on there. I mean, that's what Marvel Age is, and a lot of times I find the information on the cover, I actually like it. Not all the time, but on this one I do. I think yeah, I like the layout of that one.
Okay.
So I
All right.
obviously voted for Marvel Age. So
Oh, did you?
yes.
I didn't think it was obvious yet.
Yeah, you didn't.
Okay.
And I agree with Patrick once again. With the number of Mike Zeck GI Joe covers out there, I would have picked a different one. Dang it, showing my hand.
Okay.
Anyway. All right, Karen, bail me out here. Marvel Age and all of its letterboxes. Move on.
Yeah, I should, or somebody should. I'm not going to do it, but somebody should try to come up with a prediction of who had what artists by the end based on what everybody says. Because obviously we know Mike did not have Mike Zeck. And, well, actually, we know Pat didn't have Mike Zeck either.
Because we both said we would have picked a better GI Joe cover.
Exactly. And we know that I don't have Francisco Mattina.
Yeah, if you're really paying attention, you might be able to suss all our artist choices out here.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. But that's fine. I'm fine with this. Another McFarlane moves on. What's that? That's 3. Yeah, that's 3 McFarlane moving on out of the first 8.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. Yeah, if I had Mike Zeck, then Batman 417 would have been on there.
Yeah.
Not saying it doesn't show up in the second round in round 1.2.
Okay.
Oh, man. All right, next up. What If 47, Bill Sienkiewicz versus Wonder Woman 759 by Jim Lee. The winner here, we go back all the way to the first matchup, tied for the second, or the first, this is the closest matchup. 53% went to the winner. So this is, yeah, we had 2 that were off by just a vote.
Man, I'm so happy I didn't. Wait, I'm getting ready to, yeah. I'm so happy I didn't have Bill Sienkiewicz too, because apparently these are his best covers, and I'm not caring for much of it.
Best covers in this picker's opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Valor's like, what is up with Loki's face?
I don't like that cover like at all. Like,
I like it.
I'd be
I love it.
disappointed if that were on a shelf right now. I'd be like, what the heck is going on with that? I don't like it at all. Maybe I'm missing something, apparently, I guess.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
It's hard for me to say what I like about it, but I do. I like it.
It's a style thing. I think it's sort of like Mignola. If you don't like Bill, you're not going to like most of his covers, I think.
Maybe that's what's happening with me on this. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he's walking that line. I like Mignola, and I can appreciate how different he is. But he it seems like Sienkiewicz, at least the ones we're seeing here, are trying to walk this line of kind of typical covers, but just a little different, something like that. I don't know.
Well, I think we're also getting a little bit of through the decades here too.
Yeah.
So his style, just like Mignola, had changed over the years. So
Gotcha. Okay. But I like this Wonder Woman a lot, so I'm all in on Wonder Woman.
All right. And Wonder Woman moves on.
Nice.
Wonder Woman 2059.
I do believe that makes 3 Jim Lee now as well. Hold on a second.
it's like 2.
Let's see. Batman, One Bad Day.
Isn't that
Modern
Ghost?
Warfare.
Yeah. And now Wonder
and
Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Yep, I had them written incorrectly.
And then that's Matina's Bounty Hunter, right?
No, the Bounty Hunter is War of the Bounty Hunters is Clayton Crane.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right.
All right, our final matchup of the week. We have Silver Surfer #1, John Buscema versus World's Finest #5 by Francisco Matina. The winner here, once again, 58% of the vote.
All right, this one here, I'm gonna blow my top. Literally, I might be more upset if Silver Surfer loses here than I would have been if Incredible Hulk 340 would have lost. I'm telling you.
As soon as the matchup popped up, I just started watching Kevin.
Yeah.
What say you on what say both of y'all? What Pat? What do you?
I'm with you, Kevin.
Okay, good. Okay, Mike.
Yeah, I think they're both great. I see the I like the Matina one. I see what you're saying, kind of, but it's not Batman back there.
Yeah,
and
when I'm being
Superman
critical
program,
like the way I was, I'm not saying it's trash. I'm just
Yeah.
saying in Matina's catalog, like you guys are saying about Sienkiewicz and Zek with Captain America, it's like with the Matina covers, this one, that's what's amazing to me about it, so anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think this one captures speed, but then again, when you look at the Silver Surfer, it's just a classic 1960s cover.
Right. Come on, please. There you go.
World Finest #5.
See you, Kevin. Wow. What was the percentage there, Mike?
58%.
No, the old 58.
What the heck, man?
8 out of the 12 matchups finished at the winner at 58%. So there you go. Still trust those voters.
Darren's happy about it.
Yeah, my new school son went old school there, so I can't even blame it on that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look on Facebook and see what my kids did.
Yeah.
Let's find out if you're gonna be grounding some kids. I don't care if you don't live at home anymore. You're grounded.
All right. I mean, it is what it is. That's what cover combat is.
Yep.
Yum. Congratulations to the 10 covers moving on.
Get my internet moving.
Okay.
It was a bad week for me.
Bad week for me too. Yeah.
Let's see. All mine won. No, I'm kidding. I don't even know.
My wife chimed in that she voted for Superman. Yes, my wife is great. That's okay though. I can handle it.
I will have to look. I think. Let me look here. Let's see. Yep, my wife voted for World's Finest. Oh, yeah. Looks like Patrick's free and clear. His wife did not.
Patrick's whole family did the right thing.
Yeah. All right, where are we? Right.
The second most exciting part about Cover Combat, the new round reveals. Let's go.
Yep. I've got them ready.
Oh, and I just want to throw this out too, that my son lost his phone. So in case he's watching this, where he's currently deployed to right now, happy birthday, little buddy. Turns the big 21 today.
Wow.
Happy birthday. All right, Mike, what do we got for round 2?
Round 2. Let's go with
round 1.2. Yeah.
Right, yeah, there we go. Round 1.2. All right, our first matchup, we have Spider-Geddon number 1 by Clayton Crane versus Daredevil End of Days number 8 by Bill Sienkiewicz.
Wow.
Two great different styles.
Those are two.
Those are great. Look. Go ahead.
I was just going to say those are two great covers, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they're both similar with the character in the foreground
and the background. Yeah,
themselves in the background.
That's cool how that's similar. Yeah, I like that play on the DD as well.
Yeah. All right.
This is the first one.
What's that, Pat?
This is the first one. I had to cut out for a second.
Yeah. This is the first one. Yeah.
Who's the Spider-Man Crane? Yeah.
Yep. Clayton Crane.
Yep.
Next
Did you
up,
print this? You print that cup? Wait, hold on, Mike.
Let me go back.
I was gonna make a dumb joke about whether Pat's company printed this because there's 2 double D's on here, so I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I like that. Okay, this is my favorite Sienkiewicz so far, that's for sure. Well, actually, my favorite Sienkiewicz was that Defenders, but then it became not my favorite anymore when you basically made it not a Sienkiewicz, sort of. If that makes sense, So this is my favorite one so far. This is awesome. But that Spider-Man's ridiculous too.
Yeah, they're both good.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
All right. Next up, we have Flash 38, Francisco Mattina versus Spawn Batman number 1 by Todd Farland. What are you shaking your head for?
These Mattina choices, I swear.
What's wrong with that one?
It's not as good as a lot of other of his. Same thing as the World's Finest. It's probably going to win then, as far as I know. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, but man, Mattina's got. I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do for the finale of Cover Combat 4? I'm bringing 8 images of the 8 Mattina covers that should have been in Cover Combat.
That's a good idea.
I'm gonna do it.
All right.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, the 2 obviously very distinct different styles again. And, I love that Spawn Batman cover. So this is an easy one for me.
Lots of lightning.
There's lots of lightning in that one.
Yep. All right. Next up, we have G.I. Joe 38 versus from Mike Zeck versus Venom, the End number 1, and that is Clayton Crane.
Wow.
The Venom cover just makes no sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense to me either, but it is sharp. But I love this G.I. Joe cover. This is one of my favorite, actually, classic G.I. Joe covers. I love this cover.
Yeah. I like the Clayton Crane, but he's kind of using the flag like a beach towel.
Yeah, it is kind of, yeah.
Another flag controversy.
Well, I
Yeah.
think Venom's intentionally being disrespectful, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he'd do that.
This is when it was good guy Venom, maybe? I don't know.
He's always been honorable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So this is on Clayton Crane, not Venom.
Yeah. Clayton Crane seems to have a thing for flags.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about him. I know there's no tongue in this one too.
I've
Like
heard
not
of
even the slightest. Like not even behind the teeth. You know, it's just darkness
Yeah.
behind those teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. His eyes too. The way his eyes go to the top of his head. Come on. Too much. No. I'm gonna have to start looking at all Venom covers to see if their eyes go to, or his eyes go to the top of his head. All right, we're moving on. Apparently, Mike was done.
We're moving on. Next up, Defenders 66 from John Buscema versus X-Men Annual #1 by Jim Lee. It's a great. There's a lot going on in these covers.
Awesome.
Yep, I like these. This is a good matchup. It's a tough one.
Hey, did you intentionally put the titles up to kind of pull the hook to get me to shut up? Because I had one other thing I want to say about that G.I. Joe.
Oh, go ahead.
Destro's my favorite G.I. Joe character.
All right.
That's
I never read G.I. Joe or watched G.I. Joe.
What about you, Pat?
He's not my favorite, but I think he's a very
let me restate that. Actually, he's my favorite villain. My favorite villain.
Okay.
Yeah, my favorite is Snake Eyes. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, Mike. Sorry, move on. These are awesome, Mike. Both of them. Please tell me you agree with that, Pat. Are these both awesome?
Yeah, I mean it's a good matchup. But
Mike?
yeah, there's a definite edge for me just because of the character choice.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I think these are great.
You a Valkyrie fan?
Not really.
You might be a
Mike?
Cyclops fan. Yeah, I like them both.
Explain that, Pat. What's your character choice comment?
Oh, just Valkyrie and a bunch of miscellaneous Asgardians versus the most popular X-Men of all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
The popularity contest for me, I guess.
When you say X-Men, are you talking about all of them or just
all of them?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm totally I'm totally thinking that X-Men is definitely got the edge, yeah. Who's missing? Storm's missing. Storm's not there. Yeah. I guess those are you saying that you think those are your favorite X-Men of all time, or
Just when it's up against a bunch of miscellaneous Asgardians, sure.
Okay. I would argue those are the most popular X-Men, wouldn't you, Mike?
Yeah, I think that's the most popular era for the X-Men, but as far as individual X-Men, oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. It's got Wolverine for the listeners. It's got Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast, Gambit, Rogue, and Psylocke.
Gambit, yeah.
Yeah.
You know who I liked a lot was Havoc.
Yeah, I loved Havoc.
The Mark Silvestri Havoc.
Yeah.
I always thought he was really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Next matchup. Yeah. Elektra Assassin #4 from Bill Sienkiewicz versus Amazing Spider-Man 293 from Mike Zeck. And that's a classic Spider-Man going up against a kind of obscure Elektra Assassin series.
It's a great Sienkiewicz cover, but I have such strong feelings for that Spider-Man storyline.
Yeah.
It'll be a tough one.
Yep.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything Pat just said. Yeah. That's a great
Yeah. I wish I still had those Electra books. I'm gonna have to re-get those. Had them years ago, but
I think they're cheap. They're cheap.
yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to find.
Might find them in dollar bins.
Yeah, the white covers on those, I've seen a lot of color rub on them, stuff, a lot of dirt.
Yeah, they're great though. Yeah,
Right.
and that Craven cover is awesome. Yeah. And you know, everybody has been speculating the next Spider-Man movie's Craven. Has anyone heard that? Do we know that for a fact yet, Pat?
There's a Craven movie coming.
Mhm.
Just Craven? Like
Yeah.
Spider-Man isn't even in it?
Yeah, like Sony likes to do.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I don't know if the introduction of Craven is enough to carry a movie for him. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they're making these villain movies. I mean, and even like the Venom movie should have had, I know they have Venom Carnage in it, but it should have been Venom and Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
Craven should be Craven and Spider-Man. It's
Yeah.
the villains aren't interesting without the hero.
That's a great way to put it, Mike. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. All right. What do we have next here? Oh, I skipped one. These are a little bit out of order, but I can adjust.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have Transformers Galaxies #1 from Clayton Crane versus Spider-Man 2099 #5 from Francisco Matina. Kevin, what are your thoughts? Spider-Man 2099, Francisco. Are there better?
This is a pretty amazing cover. I've never seen it, so that's pretty sick. I like that one.
Yes. Or for refreshing change of pace. 2 covers I have no emotional attachment to.
And I've never seen either one of them. Has anyone else seen them before?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't recall.
No.
Yeah, they're
Nope.
pretty sick. Who is that? Is that who's that on the
It's one
Transformers?
of the Destructicons, it looks like, because he looks like he has a front loader for a leg and a cement mixer for the other.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are both pretty sick. That's yeah, that's gonna be. I have no idea who I'm gonna pick on that one yet.
Does say Constructor. I think Constructicon. I can't remember which it is. Not the Transformer expert.
Need Tom.
Destructicon.
I think
It's like Rosanna Dana.
No, he's saying it's either Destructicon or Constructicon.
Yeah, it's probably
Oh,
Destruct.
The audience loved that one, Mike. Good job.
Yeah. All right. This next matchup is really good. It's hard. We've got Wolverine #1 from John Buscema versus Secret Wars #8, Mike Zack. And these are all randomly matched up. And look at that, both in the studios.
You do that a lot, Mike.
Not on purpose. It's all
you know
the
what
wheel.
you need to do? Your cover matchups are so coincidentally cool in the way how they land. You need to just make a video of just set up a video and record yourself doing the process as evidence. See, this is totally random,
Right. I will. That'll be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Good luck picking this one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Pat, do you agree?
No, it's an easy one for me.
Really?
I never liked the patch look with Logan, in that I always hated that shadow thing across his eyes. So I was never a big fan of this Wolverine run.
Oh my God, the run! Oh, geez, I thought you were gonna say the cover, and that was breaking my heart a little bit. But you didn't even like the run. That breaks my heart a lot of bit.
I like Wolverine as a team player more than a standalone character.
That's fair. Fair enough. I love this cover. We always talked about how is that like an intentional shading of his eyes to kind of be camouflage, kind of like they do,
Yeah,
we talked about that before, right?
I don't remember talking about it, but I think it was consistently tried to be done. I don't know if I almost feel like it was a misinterpretation by the penciler inker. I don't know what was ever going on there. It was weird.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Mm.
I love the Secret Wars too as well. So yeah, that's like you said, Mike. Good luck picking that one. What about you, Mike? What is your feelings on these?
I love them both. The Secret Wars has been there have been so many homage covers to that it kind of takes away from how awesome it is to me. You know, I just kind of see it so many times. Whereas the Wolverine, I've only seen a few of those. So I'm more particular to the Wolverine. I'm also bitter that I don't own Secret Wars #8. I have a couple copies of Wolverine #1. So, but so this one's going to take some thinking for me.
I just got a homage to Secret Wars 8 cover from DCBS yesterday for Deadpool. They did
the
an
Deadpool
homage.
one. Yeah. Is that on Spider-Man #8 or something like that?
Yeah.
7?
Yep. No. Yep.
Yeah.
8.
No, Spider-Man 8, Secret Wars 8. Did they do that on purpose?
Probably.
Yeah. All right, we ready for the next one?
I don't know.
I don't think you are. I don't know. Maybe you will be. I mean, I'll let the cat out of the bag before I show. It's another Francisco Mattina matchup.
Uh-oh. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, geez.
Versus Deathstroke 42.
Oh my God. Finally, this is an epic Mattina cover. That's what I'm talking about. But this is one of my favorite Spider-Man covers.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, these are. I think people are going to have a pretty easy time outside of Kevin, because of the styles.
Yeah, I love the background on that Mattina cover, but I don't like the characters in the foreground.
Yeah, this was kind of a lot of shadow on that, but yeah, I like both of these. They're both great.
I love all of them on both of them. Everything on both of them. Yeah. Man.
All right. I keep looking ahead. This next one, I have to say, is I guess Chelsea, this one's for you. We've got Spawn 334 versus Spawn 150. No matter who she votes for, it's the Spawn is moving on. She can't eliminate one. Or both. So that's McFarlane Spawn on the left and a Jim Lee Spawn on the right.
I've never seen either one of those, I don't think.
Yeah, 234 on the left and 150.
Wow. I can't believe I've never seen either one of those. I don't know if I like that Spawn haunt. I don't like that whole mashup there. I don't like
I have trouble with it.
Yeah.
When they do the split, I think it's a great idea. Sometimes when it's so drastic like that one, where you got the cape and all this, and then on Hunt side is where it's kind of just, it just follows his outline.
Yeah. Pat, what say you?
I think it's like getting two covers in one.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Pull out your mirror and hold it up there.
Fair enough. You're right.
Yeah. Oh man, that's like a cool gimmick cover. Comes with a mirror.
Oh yeah, you could literally attach some kind of obviously just stock board, stock what's the paper that's like thick cardstock paper, and have it in the middle with foil, just nothing but silver foil on both sides. So if you flip it, just like you're saying, that'd be great. That's a great cover. Make it happen, Marvel, DC, Image, whoever, anybody. And then give Pat credit.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting though. It'll be interesting to see who wins that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm guessing Spawn's gonna win.
I'll bet Spawn's gonna win too. That's a good call, Mike.
Yeah. All right. This next one's a good matchup.
Man, I thought we were going to get the audience there for sure, but it didn't happen. No.
Thought she fell asleep. Next up, Silver Surfer number 4 from John Buscema versus Venom number 1. That's a Clayton Crane.
Well, he definitely got the eyes coming up on the top of his head in that one too. That's obviously one of the greatest Surfer covers of all time, though.
Yep. Super classic.
Yep. That I like the Venom. I like jack-o'-lanterns and stuff. They look cool, and it looks like a trick-or-treating one.
They got a little trick-or-treating Spider-Man there. That's hilarious. That's great.
Yeah. So I love all that about that. And then, you look at that Silver Surfer, and it's just like, it's such a classic.
Man, that's a tough. Oh man, that is so tough. I love that Clayton Crane cover. I'm shocked how good all these Clayton Crane covers have been.
Yep. Better than
apparently he's like us with Venom though. He doesn't like the tongue, apparently. Like at all. Can you see a tongue? Is there like a little bit of red tongue in his mouth there, a little tiny bit?
Just count your blessings and move on, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't give him any ideas.
All right.
Next up. These are out of order. Okay. We have Amazing Spider-Man number 1 from Clayton Crane versus Electra 23 from Bill Sienkiewicz. It's another really clean Crane cover.
Yeah, I'm shocked with the Crane covers.
Shiny.
It's so awesome. That Electra cover again, that's awesome.
Yep.
I've never seen either one of these either. How about you, Pat?
Yeah, I'm not real familiar. I'm just wondering if Bill Sienkiewicz did more than Electra. That's what I'm starting to wonder.
Yeah. He did some New Mutants back in the day.
Yeah, no New Mutants covers yet.
And Moon Knight.
Yeah, those New Mutants would hit home.
No Moon Knight.
Yeah, those New Mutants would definitely hit home with me. Yeah, and Moon Knight too. Yeah. All right. That's great.
I think Clayton Crane does a lot of store exclusives and variants and ratios and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's not our market, so we're not going to see a lot of his stuff. All right, and the last matchup of the week, we have X-Men number 1 from Jim Lee versus Deathstroke 32 from Francisco Mattina. Kevin doesn't like another Mattina.
No, I like this Mattina a lot. But this is one of my favorite covers of all time again. I mean, it's like so hard. Incidentally, too, do you know there's a major price difference between this X-Men number 1 and all the others? This is the highest dollar one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because Wolverine's on there?
I'd assume so. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of like the next one with Magneto.
Yeah. Magneto's number 2. From what I saw this was number 1 and Magneto's number 2. Then the others are like the same price. Yeah. But this might be the same for you two as well. This is another reason I'm shaking my head. I'm shaking my head because I love this Mattina, and it's going up against one of my favorite covers of all time. And obviously, one of my favorite characters, blah, blah, blah. Lastly, though, but I'd say the biggest reason I'm shaking my head, and you guys will probably relate to this, is thinking of all the covers because we've seen every cover now, right?
Yep. That's everything.
All the covers of our particular artists that we didn't see.
Yeah.
Because just like you guys said, I think you may have mentioned it, Pat, when we were given the artist, it's like you have an idea in your head immediately, boom, boom. Like you think about 2 or 3 right away of that, at least of that artist that you would pick. So the fact that there's a couple artists that I didn't see their covers at all, it just blows my mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
All right. So that's all of them.
Oh,
They'll be up later on today. We're going to start voting. I'm going to start deleting covers or pictures.
Man, I'm already looking forward to the future with covered combats, that whenever, because there's 2 types of artists you can spin on the wheel for cover combat. It's where we all get different artists like we're doing now, and then we all get the same artist. That's a possibility too, so.
Yeah, there's one where I assign the artists.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah. I'm serious though. I'm putting together 8 Matinas and I'm going to reveal them on the final show. I sure hope my life schedule works out to where I can actually make that happen.
And then we'll put your 8 up against the 8 on here.
That would be fun.
Yeah, if we ever get around to the one where I assign it, then I'll assign them, and then somebody can assign one to me. So I don't want to pick my own.
Yeah. All right, but that was awesome though. And again, great job on that, Mike. And obviously with all the jokes and the ribbing, that was an awesome job by all of us selecting the artists. Yeah. Those are some great covers. So, good job out to, all of us. I guess I'm kind of patting on.
Yeah. What? Calm down. When I comment and make fun of the covers and stuff like that, it's not a slight to whoever submitted it. And also, most of the time, I love the cover anyway. It's just we have to find fault with it to justify voting against covers that we really like. So we pick them apart more than normal.
Yeah, who knows? That World's Finest might be my favorite Matina cover by the time this ends, because I think, like, I was totally swayed from beginning to end of Cover Combat 3 with that Uncanny X-Men cover. I didn't like it at all at first. By the end, I was loving it. There was that's happened to me a couple of times. So has that happened to you at all, Pat, where you didn't like something at first, but then it grew on you by the end of Cover Combat when it kept surviving?
Yeah, I kind of think I said it about that Clone Wars cover.
Oh, yeah.
Started to gain a little traction with me.
So we'll see. All right, we ready to, speaking of picking on stuff, we ready to pick on what I got to say about the stuff I watched?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I don't think you will, though, today. Oh, maybe. No, maybe you guys actually might have a big problem with what I have to say about one thing in particular.
What, man? Something happened. Did you say something? I've missed like 10 seconds of the show.
I was just saying that you guys are probably going to have a lot to pick on about what I watched and what I have to say. Or I was saying I don't think you would at first, but then I changed it after and backpedaled immediately that actually there's one you probably will. So. Let's start with this, because I'm going to show my hand on the next movie or show I watched. So I want to show this one first. I watched a show that was recommended by the XcellarComics group that I was unaware of. So thank you very much, Michael Pinchek and the Be on the Lookout post. I watched Silo on Apple TV.
I'm so mad right now.
Why?
Because Thursday I watched the trailer again, and I was so excited for this weekend, and then Friday came and I forgot until this minute.
Yeah, Pat, did you happen to see this?
No.
So, you know,
Man.
based on Mike's Be on the Lookout post, this is based on the book series Wool, right, Mike?
Yeah, it's called the Silo series, which is Wool, Shift, and Dust are the name of the books.
But then the comic series, they're all just Wool, right? The comics are based on, they're just Wool, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I'll do a quick review of the comics right now. Yeah, they weren't that good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You love the book, but the comics weren't that good.
Yeah, I didn't like them. I think Darwin Cook did the covers, and that they were great. But besides that,
you read them all? You read all the comics too?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes me sad. I was hoping they were awesome. I was going to read them.
The books are great. Yeah, the novels are great. The comic, I was disappointed in. But if you haven't read the novels, you might like the comic.
Oh, gotcha. It's one of those things. Got it. Okay, I understand now. Okay. Well, I didn't know. Well, I had an idea because my wife also loves the novels, based on your recommendation, I believe, Mike. I had an idea of what was going on here. So I was excited to get this going. And of course, watching it with my wife was great. So essentially what's happening in Silo is I don't know what time frame we are in the future, but we are definitely at least a couple hundred years in the future from where we are right now, because and the only time stamp I've got on that is what they call relics in this show, or stuff that we're familiar with now. And essentially what this is about is societies living in silos that are underground, and again, I don't know exactly what happened outside yet, because that's part of the story on this as well, but the world's been essentially deemed unlivable by something. We don't know. It's actually something they stated at the beginning. There's only 2 episodes of this out, incidentally, as well. It just came out. Did you say Friday, Mike? It just came out. The first 2 episodes were released Friday, so that's all we could watch so far. So it's a lot of mystery right now. But what we're following so far is the sheriff of the town is kind of who we're following in the first episode. And this kind of does a lot of time jumping back and forth in itself. Like not like back far in time, but just like 2 years ago, and then back to now, and then 2 years ago. And in the first episode, we are kind of focused on the sheriff of this silo and his wife, incidentally, who is played by the Office girl, Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
Jim's girlfriend prior to when he hooked up with Pam. And then it's got Tim Robbins in here, Rebecca Ferguson, David Oalowo. Sorry if I'm butchering the name there. And Commons in this. Because there's a lot of big stars in this. I think the acting is definitely strong in this. And so overall, like I said, in the first episode, we're following the sheriff and his wife. And apparently the big thing, one of the big things with the silo is that there was a revolution 140 years prior to where the events we're currently experiencing in the silo are happening. And basically the revolution was a bunch of people that wanted to get out of the silo because they thought everything. Well, we don't exactly know. That's another thing too. Okay. So we just know there was a revolution. And what was happening in the revolution was a bunch of people were trying to get out of the silo. And that's all we know, because coincidentally, during this revolution, all records of everything that happened prior to the revolution were destroyed in the revolution. So
was it a revolution or an uprising?
Well, they kept calling it a revolution in the show. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or they might have said rebellion, actually. I'm sorry. They might have said rebellion.
Okay. Yeah, Rebellion seems a little more in line with. I mean, it's splitting hairs. Revolution.
No,
Rebellion.
no, you might be right. Yeah, it might be
Yeah.
called a rebellion. But anyway, so that's what happened 140 years ago to where we are. And so all records of why the silos exist, who built them, what happened to the world outside, all of that's a complete mystery to everyone inside the silo, coincidentally. And the power structure of the silo is kind of what you would think. There's workers at the bottom and poor people at the bottom, and then you kind of go up and you start to get IT people, and then there's a sheriff that's obviously got power. He's got some deputies, and then there's a mayor. But then above the mayor, and I guess the top tier people in power of the silo is called the judiciary, and essentially, we don't know anything prior to 140 years ago, and that's how you start asking too many questions, it can be dangerous in the silo. We kind of, without getting too deep into that, that's kind of where we are with the sheriff and his wife. The sheriff is played by David Oyelowo. I'm sorry, butchering the name again. And then his wife is Rashida Jones. And she's starting to ask questions. She actually has someone that reaches out to her and convinces her that things. Mike, I don't know how much you want me to worry about spoiler alert for you. I mean, obviously you read the book, so
yeah, it's fine. I know the gist of it, and yeah, it's fine. I'm not worried about spoilers.
Okay, I'm going to put the spoiler alert up for 5 minutes on this. If you want to check out, come back whenever the spoiler alert symbol's down. If you're listening, just fast forward 5 minutes. But basically, Rashida Jones starts asking too many questions, and she decides she wants to get out of the silo. She doesn't believe that the outside of the silo is actually devastated, as she thinks it's completely livable. And basically what the people can see, and in all kinds of every level of the silo, it seems there is a viewing window that's actually a camera feed that's above ground, that's just constantly showing what it looks like outside. And one of the rules with the silo is if you say you want to go outside, that no one's stopping you. But you have to just say, I want to go outside. And I guess this is the one question I had about, the rebellion just wanted to go outside. So that brings up questions about the rebellion, because what they say is all you have to say is, I want to go out now. And the mayor and the sheriff and the judiciary, everyone's honors that. And as incidentally too, they make mention of this slightly, that punishment for breaking the law inside the silo as well is to go outside and clean the camera. Essentially, there's this camera gets dirtier and dirtier, so every time they make someone go outside, they have to use wool to clean off the camera. And the first person we see do this is the sheriff's wife. And then we kind of, in episode 2, again, it goes back and forth in time. In episode 2, at the beginning, we see now the sheriff wants to be the next one. And it goes 2 years later from when his wife died, when she goes outside and she dies. Because what we're led to believe is the exposure to the outside that kills her. And then in the beginning of episode 2, the sheriff wants to go outside. And then for the rest of the episode, we see how we got to that point with him. And then we're introduced to a new character in episode 2 as well, who seems like she's going to be carrying the story after this. Her name is Juliet. And she's played by Rebecca Ferguson. And Juliet's kind of in on the whole deal too, with having questions and suspicions. And then she starts going on All right, my wife is correcting me. She said the camera is only on the top level. It's not on every level. Okay. Sorry about that.
I'm making notes on things that are different from the book, and that was one of them. I was like, wait, there's only supposed to be one camera screen. And it's the
Okay,
whole
so I guess
reason.
it's okay. It's one
So good.
camera in the cafeteria then?
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, Mama. Anyway, so yeah, there's one camera. Sorry. So everything else, it sounds like everything else I said is pretty accurate if she's not correcting me. So that's kind of where we are.
The judiciary doesn't exist in the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
there's
like a hierarchy within the silos. I mean, there's a silo 1 that runs everything, and you find this out later. So that might be what they're kind of bringing that into this silo as like a governing factor within the silo, but it's in the book it's more outside.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's kind of an interesting change.
Well, so anyway, yeah, so in the first episode we're kind of following the sheriff's wife. In the second episode we're following not only the sheriff's slight story, but then also passing on a new story to Juliet, who she's like we're starting to get into kind of super detective mode. She's learned that she can't ask questions. She doesn't want to go outside. She just wants to figure everything out on her own. And of course, we're following her journey. So it's pretty exciting. So let me take the spoiler alert down.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, Jesse. I'm after I said all that, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Wait, what'd she say?
Ahead of everybody. Well, you don't want to read it. I was just getting ahead of everybody.
Oh, okay, so my wife commented again that, Mike, that's not in these episodes yet. Got it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I need to keep my mouth shut because I'll end up spoiling stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I kept asking. I kept asking Jesse like questions during the movie, but I kept having to disclaim saying, hey, don't tell me the answer. Just tell me if that's the way the book put it or not. That's all I cared about.
There you go.
Yeah. But anyway, I'd give this a pretty strong recommend. The first 2 episodes, I give it a solid 8.5 bags of popcorn. So check it out. And it's on Apple TV. And man, Apple TV. I actually just got Apple TV on my Xbox for one reason, and that's to watch Tetris. But man, as soon as I booted it up, first of all, Silo was right in my face. So that attracted my attention. And then, but there was only 2 episodes. And that's kind of an Amazon thing too. I think I've talked about that before. How last week we were talking about which do you prefer, 1 episode a week or the entire drop of a season. Apple and Amazon kind of mix it up. They drop 2 a week. It's like,
Yeah.
So
moving forward, they may just go 1. It's like they'll give you 2 to draw you in, and then after that, I think they might do 1 episode per week.
You might be right, but that one movie I watched with Thanos, the cowboy in the big hole in the middle of the pasture, they released 2 every week the whole time.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. But anyway, yeah, big recommend on this. Check it out. Only on Apple TV.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't have Apple TV. Karen, do you have Apple TV? I think Ayla or Lexi told me it's included with her Apple subscription, so you probably do have it if you don't know. But anyway, because my sister and my niece are both Apple people. So then again, speaking of Apple, then I watched something that had a great trailer that's on Apple called Invasion. And this has the biggest star that drew me to this is Sam Neill. But Shioli Kutsuni, Goldshift Ferrani. I'd butcher all these names if I'd say them. The only one I'm familiar with is Sam Neill. And then I've pretty much not seen anyone else in the show, but they were all great actors and actresses. But Sam Neill, and how cool this trailer was for this in general. That was another thing that Apple TV did, which was pretty cool. The way that they kind of spotlight their trailers. It might be really similar to Netflix, but it was different enough to where I thought it was more cool than what Netflix does. But anyway, this is Invasion. This is a 2021 TV series. As you can imagine, it's pretty straightforward in the name. What this show is about. An alien invasion. And but I do have this to say that the only reason I know that is from the trailer. We only watched the first episode basically because we were loving Silo so much. We were definitely wide awake that we're like, hey, let's just check out another episode of some type. We're like in the mood to check out an episode of something else at that point. So we're like, let's check out Invasion. So we watched only the first episode of this. And if I hadn't seen the trailer and came to my conclusions based on the title and the trailer, you would not know there's an alien invasion happening in this first episode. There is just a bunch of weird events happening. Maybe not weird, but just a bunch of different events like, like a crop circle and an earthquake, a random earthquake out of nowhere. And then, stuff like that, like all these havoc wreaking events are happening. And it seems like this really wants to be this better be a long story. I actually haven't looked into how many seasons this is, but I'll be bitter if this is only one season because I feel like they are trying to set you up for 12 different people to follow, 12 different, like, for lack of a better way to describe it, 12 different main characters. So, and that was my only complaint about this is there's not a lot happening in this first episode aside from meeting people and then an event happening. That's what happens. We get introduced to somebody and an event happens to that person. Then we get introduced to someone else and an event happens to that. And then they kind of go back to the other person. And maybe I'm exaggerating with 12, but there's at least literally at least 7 main characters in this they're introducing us to, and not much else is happening there. So the verdict is out on this one. I have no idea how I feel about this yet, but I'll just say it seems like it's going to be quality. It looks good, acting's great, dialogue's fair enough. It just seems a little drawn out and slow to me at this point, but maybe it'll have a big payoff. So I'm not gonna give it any rating right now until I watch more. So stay tuned with how I feel about Invasion further on. So
season 1 has 10 episodes. Looks like filming has completed for season 2.
Okay, good, awesome.
Nice.
Not so nice.
What'd you say, Pat?
Looks like not so nice according to Karen. She put it down.
Oh yeah. Karen says I'm going to be disappointed. Why are you saying that, Karen? While we wait for Karen's response, I'll go on to my next one. This is the one you guys might be disappointed on. I watched Sweet Tooth. Did you guys watch it all? Where you at?
Season 1 I watched. Season 2, I think I was 2 or 3 episodes in.
Oh, so you didn't watch it anymore since last week, essentially. Pat?
Nope. We're on 5.
You're starting 5, or you're in the middle of 5, or where are you at?
Completed 5.
You completed 5?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if Karen's saying, I'm assuming this is a typo. She's saying, Karen says it's showing me that it's begging canceled. I'm sure she means being canceled. But apparently Pat disagrees with you on that, Karen, and Pat's usually right, so I'm gonna believe him. No offense, Karen. I think Pat's been wrong like maybe one time. I can't remember that one time, so I'm gonna say once.
I took that to mean that the show's begging to be canceled by she thinks it's not high quality. That's how I took that statement.
Karen, what would say you? Anyway, moving on. That is an interesting take on that sentence. You might be right. Well, that would mean she'd have to have watched it, which I don't think she did, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Stay tuned for Karen's response. But anyway,
You said you're going to be disappointed, so
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think that's what I was saying. I think she thinks I'll be disappointed because it was already canceled, is what she's
maybe
speculating. But anyway, so Sweet Tooth. I only watched the first. It was a typo. She typo into typo. That was hilarious. That was awesome, Karen. She's saying begging was a typo. It is supposed to be being, but like I said, Patrick says second season just wrapped up. So I'm gonna hope Patrick's right anyway, even though I predict he is in general. But anyway, Sweet Tooth. I've actually got that in the title, so everybody else is like, can we just get to the Sweet Tooth review, please? So this is Sweet Tooth season 2. As I mentioned last week, I watched half of the first episode, and y'all had, I think Pat said 3, and Mike was 3. Mike's still 3, Pat's 5 now. I only made it through half of the season. I was planning on just binging the whole thing, like I mentioned last week, but man, I didn't want to. That's where I am on this. It's so for anybody who doesn't know with Sweet Tooth, again, we know this is based on a Jeff Lemire comic book about hybrids. Kind of we've destroyed the world. Well, no, we didn't destroy the world. There's a virus that killed a majority of the planet, and at the same time this virus started killing people, there is hybrid children being born, and Sweet Tooth is one of those, and he is part deer, part child, and he's obviously the focus of the comic book and the show. And as you can imagine, people in the show, I can't speak to the comic book at all, I haven't read it, but people in the show believe that there's a connection between the virus existing and the hybrids. So of course there's this whole prejudice against hybrids. Here's the first thing I have to say. I think they take it too far. Like, I could understand slight prejudice, but I mean, obviously these hybrids are kids. These are obviously quote unquote normal kids for the most part, at least most of them. Obviously, there's different levels of hybrids in the show too. Like, one's a kid that's like 99% beaver, but he walks around and wears clothes. So, and then there's this one kid that's got a complete elephant head, but of course with Sweet Tooth as an example, he only has antlers and big ears. So it's varying levels of their hybrid division. So like I said, it seems crazy to me how, not even crazy, obviously this is just a fictional sci-fi futuristic show anyway, but they kind of take it too far with the prejudice. It's like they've got a whole, like, it seems like a majority of the planet hates these hybrids, not only to the point of just resenting them because they have thoughts of them possibly be the reason the virus happened, but also because they're just hybrids and they don't mind eating them. They essentially talk about the hybrids like they're insect equivalent level importance. Like, as much as I don't care about stepping on an ant, that's how the human beings feel like towards hybrids in this show. A far majority. There's like, I think we've met 2 or 3 so far that are sympathetic to the hybrids already. One of them being Sweet Tooth's or best friend, whatever, Big Man. And then Sweet Tooth meets up with a bunch of other hybrids, and the mother, quote unquote, of those hybrids is also sympathetic to the hybrids. That's what she's kind of a hybrids adopter. And then lastly, there's this girl called Bear. I can't remember her name exactly. Whatever the Bear girl name is, she pretended to be a hybrid and fight for hybrids, but she's just a human. So anyway, the hatred aside from those three characters, especially with all the bad group in this is called the Last Men. They just want to wipe out all hybrids as soon as they see them, and then we meet other people that just want to have them for dinner. It's like you guys understand, you guys feel me on that? You think it's like a little overplayed how prejudiced people are to hybrids, like without it making a lot of sense?
Well, the sense can be made that they were so anti-hybrid that they never let the hybrids grow, so they don't know they're intelligent and can speak and develop like humans. So, a lot of them are unaware of that, I think, is what they're trying to get across.
Okay. I guess that makes a little sense. Although, like in the last episode I'm in, there's of course the scientist that's kind of being held captive by the leader of the Last Men, because the leader is trying to come up with a cure for the virus, and this doctor's wife is one that has the sick, is what they call the virus in this show. His wife has the sick, so he's been looking for a cure anyway. So essentially, the bad guy, the leader of the Last Men, has held him in captivity. So whenever this doctor does find a cure, essentially this leader of the Last Men will kind of own it. He'll try to be the richest man on earth once it's saved from the virus by being the owner of the cure or something, whatever. That's kind of how it seems like it's going to play out. And I see what you're saying, Pat, with especially like the scientist's wife and the scientist that, and a lot of the Last Men and as for that matter are unaware that they can even speak, let alone think. But a lot of these kids just look like kids, like especially the one girl that's whatever the best friend hybrid of Sweet Tooth. She's a pig, and she's got a pig nose and some kind of pig ears, but like her and Sweet Tooth, if they wear a hood, they look like just kids. So I see what you're saying, but I'm still going to kind of go with what I'm saying a little bit too, because I feel like there would be prejudice on levels then, essentially. Like, if it like the beaver kid, yeah, like you don't think he's worthy of any life at all, but you see the pig girl and I don't know. Obviously I know the real deal, so it's hard for me to jump into that perspective, I guess. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is based on fear also, because majority of the people think that the sick is caused by the hybrids.
Yeah, I totally get that part. Absolutely. Yeah.
When you bring fear into things, it wipes rationale completely off the page.
That's a good point, Mike. That's true. That's a good point.
So,
okay. All right, going with what Pat said and what you said, I've completely changed my mind. I'm not even really joking. That's a good point, right. Both of you. Yeah. All right, so then essentially where I am in the first 4 episodes is, so what happens in the first one is the whole first season, just to recap on that, is we're just following Sweet Tooth's journey to try to find his mom, right? If I'm remembering that correct. That was season 1, right?
Yeah, he wants to find his mom.
Yeah, and he meets up with this guy he calls Big Man. It's really big, like linebacker, big black guy, and he's really awesome, really cool. But he actually used to be a Last Man, and he's kind of wanted to get away from them. And it's kind of it's almost a trope at this point. A kind of an oddball outcast meets up with a guy that used to hate what they are, but then starts to be attached to this one particular, it's kind of Last of Us-y kind of, right? But anyway, so
I think we saw kind of how Big Man became one of the Last Men.
Right.
I think it was more out of, he had a different agenda, looking for his wife, and I can't remember I think he had a daughter or a son, looking for them, and that was an avenue to find them, was to join the Big Man, or the Big Man, to join the Last Men. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he hooks up with Big Man, and then we're following them on the journey and all the craziness that happens. And then they hook up with the leader of these hybrid protectors that kind of dress up like hybrids. Her name's Bear, right? And they're kind of a team. And then at the end of season 1, we assume Big Man is dead. He's killed in the last episode, and that's kind of where it ends. And Bear Girl is on the run, right? And then they didn't meet up, but then there was also the lady that adopts hybrids. We kind of saw her in the last couple episodes as well. And her children, the hybrids that she adopted, were kidnapped. So then when we start season 2, the hybrid, her children, are in captivity. Big Man is supposedly dead. Sweet Tooth's in captivity, and Bear Girl has been completely separated from them. So that's we're following 3 stories at once. Actually 4, if you want to count the scientist that's also looking for a cure. We're kind of following 4 stories at once through these first 4 episodes, where all the hybrids are trying to escape from, captivity. Big Man and the adopter of the hybrids have teamed up, and they're trying to find a way they can help the hybrids escape. Bear Girls are on a journey just to search for the hybrids, and she actually ends up joining the Last Men in hopes that being a last man will help her find the hybrids. And then lastly, the doctor is trying to find a cure to the virus in captivity to save his wife while being used by the leader of the Last Men. And he's actually using Sweet Tooth as a tool to find the cure. He's been using hybrids as a tool to find the cure the entire time. Essentially, think again, like I said, and then Mike was pointing out more, is that everybody thinks that the hybrids have something to do with the virus. So he's experimenting on hybrids. He's a good guy too. They kind of represent him to us as a good person, but he's trying to save his wife. So he's willing to do things he wouldn't typically do, like do immoral experiments on these hybrid kids in the advancement of science to find a cure. And he meets up with Sweet Tooth, and like Pat's saying too, that no one knew that they could speak. And then Sweet Tooth starts talking to the doctor, and that's kind of when they first discover that they could speak. And so the doctor decides to have a conversation with Sweet Tooth to see if he can get the answers he needs to find the cure just by talking to Sweet Tooth. And they have another way they use, I won't get into, but it's all attached to the doctor using Sweet Tooth because he can talk, as opposed to, experimentally, just as a hybrid. So that's kind of where we are after 4 episodes. I could have put a spoiler up to give a spoiler, but I held that back. There is a major event that happens after 4 episodes, and that's where I currently am. But I'll kind of leave that to people to watch. I'm going to definitely watch the next 4. There's only 8 episodes in season 2. So I'm going to watch the next 4 for next show. If anyone wants to join me. Right now, though, for the first 4 episodes of season 2, I'm going to give it like a 6 bags of popcorn. There's some things that aren't exactly clicking with me. Obviously, the one I'm saying in general, like I think the prejudice against hybrids is overdone. But then also, too, all these characters and how I feel about them continuously keep doing things that are out of character to me, which is frustrating me. And I think things are a little drawn out. The one example I'll use in that is Big Man, like we were talking about, has a history with being a man. He's obviously looking for his wife and kid. Or no, did they die? His original journey was to find them, but now he knows they're dead, right?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were dead.
Okay.
And if I did, I've forgotten.
I thought that happened like early in season 2. I'm sorry. A spoiler alert. Sorry about it, everybody. But anyway, that's essentially, here's the only point I have to say. He's this real tough guy that is, he's regretting his past, but he's a really sharp guy. He's really smart. But then he makes the point, and spoiler alert here, but this again really doesn't, it's inconsequential to me. Although it does have consequence in the show, I don't think it really matters, except for the fact of what I'm trying to say here is that it's out of character. He just confesses to the one person that loves hybrids more than anyone. He confesses that when he was a last man, he used to capture them and round them up and kill them and all this bad stuff, to where that was like the dumbest thing he could ever do. So I'm like, why would you do that out of nowhere? Especially when he already lied to her and said he didn't. And of course you'd go with the, okay, he's got guilt, but still he seems smarter than that, so that's just one small example. In my opinion, there's a lot of those in this
I didn't like that either.
What's that?
I didn't like that either. It seemed like it just seemed like a weak story point to separate them again. Whereas, again, if we just talk and he would explain, now that he's been around Gus, he is seeing things differently and he regrets everything. And there's none of that. And it just like cut to, she's shutting him out and moving on without him. And yeah. I thought that was great.
And then the other part on her side, it's exactly on her side of that same exact moment is she's obviously untrusting of last men and men in general or whatever, but she's obviously developed a major bond and trust for him. So it was out of character for her to all of a sudden become a big hater towards him as well, without, like you said, Pat, giving him an opportunity to explain, why he would have, why he regrets it and why he lied. All, like you said, just talk, I can't remember when you first said that, Pat, but pointed out long ago with this stuff, if people would just talk to each other, all this craziness wouldn't happen, but it seemed out of character for her to just turn, just because of him telling her that, turn all of a sudden to can't stand him, can't be in his vicinity after all they've been through together already, So anyway. So I give it like I said, I give it a 6 popcorn so far, 6 bags of popcorn so far. How are you feeling about it overall, Pat?
It's not blowing me away, but I like it,
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to love it. But yeah, I like it. I get kind of bored watching it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's why I just didn't continue. It didn't make me want to get to the next episode.
Yeah,
and like I said, arguably the biggest moment in the first 4 episodes that happens that makes you want to get to the next episode is at the end of the 4th episode, but it still wasn't enough for me because I'm just not enjoying it enough.
Yeah, it's hard to I don't know. I just don't connect with any of the characters. I have no empathy for any of them, and it's just weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. Okay, so to finish up my segment here, like I said, I want to start doing last week is talk about what I'm going to watch next week. So you can please join me. Again, I'm going to watch the final 4 episodes of the 2nd season of Sweet Tooth. I'm definitely going to get to Tetris now that is installed on my Xbox and Apple is logged in.
I'm going to watch it again.
Okay. I'm going to watch the whatever 1 episode or 2 episodes they put out this next week of Silo. And I'm going to check out Foundation, which is another sci-fi Apple TV show that has a ridiculous trailer. And then lastly, I'm going to watch Dungeons and Dragons. That was just released on digital. The new Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. It was released on digital last week, so I'm going to check that movie out. So I'm going to be watching 2 movies and 3 shows next week. So stay tuned for that.
Nice. We're getting your money's worth out of Apple.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Lexi's all talking smack now too. She's like, "See, I told you Apple's better." I'm like, "Let's not get crazy, all right." Karen likes that Lexi comment. I think that's what that clap was for, not for my segment being good. All right, Mike, you're up again.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Right, awesome.
We're on to the pick 3. I say this, I feel like I say this a lot. This was a hard week, but
You do say that a lot.
I know, but this one really was. And I don't know if it was because of Free Comic Book Day and there weren't a lot of releases from, the big 2, Marvel and DC. But yeah, I really did not have fun picking these covers. That being said, let's look at these awesome 10 covers.
That really sucks you say that you didn't have fun doing it. I feel bad for you.
No, it was also partly my fault by putting it off till the last minute. The next thing I know, it was Friday and I'm scrambling, so I try to do it throughout the week.
And Mike, I'm the same way. I do that same thing. Pat, when do you start to prep?
I just try to write things down during the week because if I don't, I'll forget about it. And a lot of it on me is more like announcements, so I have to write them down or I'll forget about them. So
okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, Mike, go.
All right. Yep. So we're gonna start here with Daredevil 11. These all hit the shelf on Wednesday, May 10th. We're in May already. Holy cow. So we've got Daredevil 11 from Marco Cicchetto, Ghost Rider 14, Bjorn Barends, Silk number 1, Dave Johnson, Little Monsters 13, Jason Sean Alexander, Noctera 14, Tony S. Daniel, Invincible Iron Man number 4, the second printing from Cale New, Disney Villain Scar number 2 from Gene Ha, Superman Lost number 3, Lee Weeks, King Kong Great War number 1, Brian Hitch, and Spawn 341. It's a connecting cover by Mark Brooks. What are your thoughts?
So I think I liked most of these covers. I think the Noctera, it was nice. It was just kind of boring. And I was underwhelmed with the Silk, although I liked it. That's like one of the lower grade Silk covers I've ever seen. But everything else I thought was pretty strong. How about you, Pat?
Yeah, there was only a couple that I was able to knock off right away. And I got to my final 4 and had trouble knocking one off the tower there. So
I can't wait to hear what they are. They're probably going to be a completely different 4. You're probably going to pick Noctera and Silk, right? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Maybe. All right, who we got, Mike?
Yeah. Well, I really liked I liked the Noctera one because of how bright. I like the silhouette. I thought it was great. Or the profile.
Yeah.
I like it. That's just how bright he was able to get that white to look.
Okay.
It's just I'll make a point of that real quick. Is it just me? Sometimes the way they do the computer coloring in comics these days, the white is almost like blinding. I have to not look at it. Does anybody else have that problem?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, so bright, like you're looking at the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And that's what I got from that
white
cover.
paper. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the white was hard to look at. It's like, holy cow, why is that so bright? It's white paper. You can't make it any more white, but it seemed that's why I put it on Tony Daniel for, I think he did by the way he brought it from her head and then over just the way the edge is. I'm like, he must have, that's why I put that on there. I thought it was well done. So,
yeah.
All right. So you ready for 1, 2, and 3?
Yes.
All right. In third place, and you'll notice I didn't put number 1, 2, and 3 on these because I ran out of time. Actually takes a little bit of time. So third place, we have Superman Lost, number 3 from Weeks.
Yeah, I like that cover.
Yeah.
There's a reason I didn't pick that one though.
Let me guess, you don't like Superman looking disheveled?
No. Pat, you
No.
got to guess?
Don't know.
Because half of it's nothing.
Oh yeah.
I want something on the whole cover. I don't know. That's just it seems to be a thing of me lately. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not bad.
it
It's kind of cool. It's kind of actually cool seeing him disheveled as a majority Clark Kent, but obviously Superman peeking out there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I like what I find a lot of the covers for me now when I look at the classic covers from the 80s that we like so much is they try to cram too much stuff onto the covers now and it's chaos.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So speaking of chaos, let's get to number 2. We have, I almost hit the wrong one here. Number 2 is Invincible Iron Man, number 4.
That was definitely one of my almost made it. I don't think I eventually picked that one though. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
Crazy.
great.
Does anybody know who's punching there?
I don't know.
No, I don't.
But I like the cover with the upshot and the crowd in the background and the buildings behind. I think, and even the dude being red skinned, just everything just worked on this cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, it's odd for me, and I'm not sure where this takes place, but building in the background looks to me like the way the Twin Towers looked in King Kong. And that whole, so for this has kind of a King Kong feel to it for me because of the building in the background, the crowd around them. It's just, it was an odd thing when that's the first thing I thought. So that's why I was kind of attracted to this cover.
Who'd you say the artist was again? I'm sorry.
Oh, Kale New.
Okay.
I think this is the guy that Tyler's really starting to like quite a bit.
Yeah, he had that Batman cover last week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then our number 1 cover for the week. Waited for the symbol. Ghost Rider 14, Bjorn Brand.
I always call him Bare Ends.
Bare Ends. I'm sure there's some kind of, with Bjorn as his first name, it's Bjorn Brand. It's probably got it.
Well, I'd have to say I agree. I think this is the best cover of the 10. So I'm going with that one too. This is a great cover. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I can't wait to read this one.
Yeah, didn't you say this is one that's on deck for you? Are you reviewing that?
As soon as I get it, it comes out Wednesday.
I gotcha.
So, yeah.
All right. What do you think of that one, Pat?
Did not vote for that one. I thought I could have a perfect week. Me and Valor, we had the same exact votes, and I was just waiting because Daredevil's been performing strong in the pick 3, and he got knocked off this week.
Yeah, it was close.
Well, no Ghost Rider on a bike this time, so that's cool. But you don't care for the Weapon X helmet, though, right, Pat?
I just don't care for this style of art. It's just too muddy for me.
Yeah, I get it.
Gotcha.
Surprisingly, but not surprising, the Disney villain Scar number 2 didn't get any votes. That was the last one I put on the list. I was really looking, but I like Gene Ha. I think he's got a really great style.
Yeah.
But
doesn't come across in drawing Disney, I guess, though. You're right, though. I agree. I like Gene Ha a lot.
And the King Kong,
he has to stick with he has to stay on style guide for the Disney characters, so you don't see a lot of his influence coming through.
Yeah. And the trade dress on the King Kong kind of ruined that cover.
Yeah, I have to agree. Right over his head.
Yeah.
Why didn't they pop that behind his head? I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, if he was right in front of that, that would be perfect. Yeah. I got my first Spawn connecting cover in the DCBS this week too, so I'm hoping I paid attention to get all the connecting covers from my DCBS shipments because
Off of the Mark Brooks ones.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice set.
Yeah.
So that is it. Go get those books.
All right, cool. Moving right along, I need to make a little shift here. Wait. There we go. Okay. Got to keep Pat in the middle, right, Mike?
Yeah.
So that means you're first for reviews too. You got something read this week?
Yep.
All right, let's hear about it.
I think I deleted it.
All right, what'd you say you think you did? What'd you say?
Mike.
Uh-oh, he's frozen. He's muted, definitely. There he goes. All right, Mike, what?
Going on. In all the chaos, which was I deleted the book that I read, but I just found it again. Or I uploaded it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, and I read this because of time constraints. I wanted something really fast to read, and this fit the bill perfectly. So I read All 8 Eyes, #1, and this is from Dark Horse. It's a 4-issue miniseries. The writer is Steve Fox, and the artist is Peter Kowalski. It's Piotr. And basically what happens here, we've got a college kid who's kicked out of his apartment, and he runs across a homeless man out in a park, and the homeless man is what we think is homeless. He's killing a large spider. So as you can tell, the all 8 eyes, I guess spiders have 8 eyes. Is that what it is? Or 8 legs?
I don't know. Do they?
I don't know. They have 8 something.
Yeah.
So the kid tries to run away, knocks him out, takes him to this abandoned place, and starts explaining to him that he's been tracking and hunting giant spiders for the last decade. And he has this journal that he's been writing stuff down in, and kind of convinces the kid, lets him know, look, if you want to join me in hunting these spiders, meet me, in the park Wednesday. And we go through, and Wednesday he meets in the park, and they hunt some more spiders. Yeah, it didn't blow me away. I probably will not be getting issue #2. It was kind of a last minute ad that I put on my list and bought it. So this one, I've got no opinion. Wasn't bad. The art's good. The writing's good, but it just didn't really grab me to where I want to buy issue 2.
Do you know why there's giant spiders that exist in this world anyway?
No, it's a little bit it's kind of like when you're talking about Sweet Tooth, it's like it just doesn't make sense. It's like, how have we had these giant, enormous spiders around for so long, but nobody except for this guy knows? And he's tried to contact the police and show the authorities, and nobody believes him. And then when you see this in here, he's got this giant spider bigger than a dog that he killed, and he just burns it. And then they find this nest of spiders, and there's hundreds of spiders coming out, and they're just killing them. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like, okay, you can't convince somebody. Drag this dog-sized spider to the police station and say, here, somebody's going to pay attention.
That not making much sense would probably be a big enough reason for me to say forget this one.
Yeah. So Yeah, this is why it's, the artwork's really good.
Are you going to get issue 2?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Actually, I may have ordered issue number 2. So if I
Okay.
get it, I'll read it. Maybe maybe all the people are spiders and they're, turning a blind 8 eyes on purpose. I don't know.
Hey, Pat, this reminds me of a question that I meant to ask you. So obviously we know you're, a big Marvel guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's second for you? What publisher?
These days, I don't even know what to say about that.
That's I know. That's why I thought I wanted to ask you, because it seems like it might be up in the air.
Yeah. If you want to go by the number of books ordered, I'd probably say, I think it's probably Image currently.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm torn between Image and Dark Horse, man. I love Dark Horse too. Yeah. Over DC, because yeah, I'm still at Marvel number 1. But where are you, Mike, publisher wise?
Probably Marvel. DC's dropped off quite a bit. Probably Marvel and Image.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're probably neck and neck. That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to look it up and see what books I'm getting more of.
Yeah. All right, Pat, did you read something this week?
I did.
We got.
Guess I better get ready, huh?
Yeah.
Caught me off guard with the publisher question.
Sorry about it.
We're going to go into a little bit of spoiler territory. So if you want to know, these books have both been out for a couple months. So if you haven't read them yet, sorry, but I'm going to spoil a couple things here. And that is, I continued my Amazing Spider-Man catch up, and I read issues 21 and 22. So we can answer the question of what's going on with that dude's hand there.
Can't wait to hear it. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be a riveting answer, just so get ready for it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is getting into finally revealing. It's right there on the cover. This is it, the story you've been waiting for. We're finally going to find out what happened between Peter and Mary Jane, why everybody hates Spider-Man, including the Fantastic Four. Everyone's against him except for apparently Norman Osborn. And so this starts out and starts flashing back to why things happened the way they did. And we find out, and we don't get the whole mystery reveal. We're just starting to get into it in these 2 issues. But the villain, that we see on the cover here of 22, his name is Yep. He's a Mayan god. And sorry, let's rewind a little bit. Zeb Wells here on the writing, and John Romita Jr. on both issues here. So we're kind of getting back to the main storyline, main creative team. And Zeb Wells has sort of dipped back into way back, I think 15 years. He pulled this villain out of an old storyline. Well, not this particular Wyatt, perhaps, but his avatar was this math genius who was using Mayan symbolism to somehow create this new energy. He would align these symbols and somehow intercept energy. And he's basically insane, and he wants to bring this Yep back to our plane of existence. And I don't know what he wants to do, conquer the world, I suppose. So he tries to do that by slapping the avatar, the human avatar. He embeds these symbols on Peter and Mary Jane, connecting them to this whole sacrifice that's supposed to happen to bring Wyatt back to Earth. And in the midst of doing that, they shunt Peter and Mary Jane to this alternate Earth dimension, where this Wyatt is presiding, we assume. And while they're on this other alternate Earth, they run into Paul, who is Mary Jane's current. I was confused about this. I thought it was just her boyfriend, but apparently she's married to this Paul character. and we're flashing back and finding that this Paul is trapped on this alternate Earth already because he had a relationship with the Mayan avatar, the human Mayan avatar. And he tries to, explain to him what's going on in this Earth, how they need to survive on this Earth, try to escape YF and maybe possibly thwart his plans. And in the midst of all this, he tells Peter, Spider-Man, that he has a way to get back to our Earth. And he wants Spider-Man to get back to our Earth and try to solve things there. But Peter wants to give it to Mary Jane. He wants Mary Jane out of this whole mess, back on Earth. He'll solve things on this alternate Earth and get back to her somehow. So that's the plan. But at the last minute, Mary Jane says, no way. Spider-Man's, more important. He has to go back to our Earth. So she kind of ruins everything. She ruins the whole plan. Sends Spider-Man back to Earth, and in the meantime, they like slice this Mayan god YF in half because the portal, closes on him. So we're not sure what happens if the YF thing is totally done and solved. He's out of the way because they kind of leave it with Spider-Man getting back to Earth. And the way he gets back to Earth makes me think, I don't know how Mary Jane could have possibly survived his, re-entry to our Earth, but that's beside the point here too. But and then the next issue is sort of they preview it, has the Fantastic Four on the cover, so I'm assuming this is where they has a falling out with the Fantastic Four, and I'm gonna make some guesses here because these books are already out. But my assumption here is that he needs to get back to this other Earth. He probably, I'm guessing, he steals or takes the technology from the Fantastic Four to try to get back to this alternate dimension to save Mary Jane, and that puts him on bad terms with the Fantastic Four. And I'm also going to go out on a limb and say the reason we see that Mary Jane is done with Spider-Man, is married to this Paul character, is I have a feeling, and again, just a guess, that time is different in this dimension, and she is stranded for who knows how long with this Paul character and falls in love with him. And that's where they come back to our point. We obviously know they come back to our Earth at some point because this is a flashback, but I'm assuming because all the time she spent with this Paul on this alternate Earth, they fell in love or whatever. Just guessing, but it seems lame. It seems like Nick Spencer was working to get Peter and Mary Jane back together in the last series, and something happened. I don't know what their thoughts were to submarine his efforts there. But definitely it's disappointing to see that they, tanked that relationship when they were trying to build it back. I mean, because, Marvel has had a thing against Spider-Man being married, but I don't think it's been detrimental to like Superman. I don't know.
So the big what is it reveal is this alternate Earth.
The big reveal is why everybody hates Spider-Man. Everyone,
which is connected to the alternate Earth existing and what they've experienced there. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and why Mary Jane and Peter broke up, or why she's married, and why the Fantastic Four hates Spider-Man. It's all unfolding here, and I'm making some guesses, but it's I don't know. It's good art. It's a pretty interesting story. I don't like the whole reasoning behind, guessing at the reasoning behind separating Peter and Mary Jane, but it's still a get it, although I'm not happy with some of the choices they're making. And maybe I'll turn things around when I actually find out the full story, but kind of some, I don't know.
So what's going on with his hand?
So nothing. There's no reason that he has two fully formed hands. I think we'll have to chalk this up to those John Romita haters and give them some fuel that I'm not sure why he drew his hands this way. I will say this, that he's trying to consume Spider-Man. in this story. So this is, sort of sums it up. He's trying to eat Spider-Man, but I have no explanation for the weird hands going on there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you got to
So-
wonder why. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Mike.
So you got to wonder why they're just trashing the whole Peter and Mary Jane relationship. I think more Spider-Man fans prefer him and Mary Jane to be together.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. And it's almost like, just I don't know, it seemed gesture to Spider-Man fans from Marvel constantly.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I would speculate with that is, you kind of got to tear them apart to put them back together and kind of have something to root for there, I guess.
But
They've been doing it for years.
Yeah, but that's what Nick Spencer was working towards. He was bringing them back together. And it seemed like that was the plan. And then they just tanked it all over again.
Mm.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is a get it?
It is a get it still.
Okay.
Like I said, it's kind of a neat story. The art is still good. It's just some of the choices they're making character wise, I don't love. But the overall story, there's some positive things. I like. So one thing I didn't mention about the flashback was we see Norman. This is the first flashback to see, Norman from the get-go was trying to come up with some kind of plan to rescue Spider-Man. So he's been, going back to the old Nick Spencer run. We went through the whole thing where the Sin Eater took away all his sins, and he's supposedly a good guy now, and they're continuing with that in this Zeb Wells volume also. And so yeah, it's the things they're doing make sense, but I just don't like some of the choices that are being made.
Ah, okay.
And they're really pushing hard to get, Peter and Black Cat together. That seems to be the direction they want to go for some reason. So I don't know. All right. So
Okay.
I want to tackle the other big weird mystery told in flashbacks, and that's in the Fantastic Four book by Ryan North and Iban Coelho is the artist. This whole thing is, we know that they're doing the same kind of storytelling here, where something happened in New York, and in fact, the Baxter Building is a smoking crater, and they don't tell you what that is, and the Fantastic Four are separated. Well, now they're finally bringing them back together, and they revealed what happened here. And again, not it's kind of it's interesting in a way, but it's kind of like far-fetched. I don't know. It's comic books we're talking about, but
Right.
basically, what happened was, and they tell this in the flash. Well, what to set this up a little bit better, where we last left it is the Thing, Ben Grimm and Alicia are trapped in this town, and they can't find a way out. Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, Reed and Sue have located them, and they've alerted Johnny to where they're at, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with the Thing here. And they find out that he's sort of in this they're sort of in this bubble. They're like prisoners in this bubble, and they have to break them free. And in the midst of all this, they kind of talk about the flashback and what things happen. And the big mystery here was there was an alien invasion from the negative zone. The Fantastic Four were caught off guard, and last resort, Reed decides to use this time travel device to solve, to win the battle. And let's see if I can explain this. He basically uses this form of time travel where he says he sets the point of origin of the time travel, and he set it to our sun. So he sent the alien invaders back 1 year in time, and because he used the point of our sun, the Earth would be rotated. We would go back one cycle of our sun, so the alien invaders would come out on the other side of Earth. This is just, time travel, timey-wimey. I don't know.
Okay.
But the kicker here, and the crux of the problems with between the Fantastic Four, sorry, I'm getting all choked up over the FF, is that because he sent this amount of our Earth back in time, he had to send an equal amount of our Earth forward in time. So what basically happened was he sent the Baxter building and all its occupants in the immediate surrounding area forward in time. Essentially, for our story purposes here, Ben and Alicia's adoptive children and Reed and Sue's two kids were in the Baxter building. So they've been sent forward in time, and the rest of the Fantastic Four are left waiting a year to catch up to them, essentially. So that's why Ben is so angry, and why everybody is so angry at the Fantastic Four, because they've basically, anybody that got caught in this bubble has been shunted a year in the future.
Ah.
So if
that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
It is kind of interesting. But the whole thing about the setting the origin point of the time displacement and having equal parts that have to go forward and back, it's okay. But the general idea of why they're mad, I guess it makes sense. And in retrospect, it's sort of a Sixth Sense kind of thing. I guess if you're really paying attention, you might have been able to figure it out, because they don't go anywhere without their kids. The kids that were probably mentioned in a way. It's one of those things where it'd be interesting to maybe go back and reread and see if you can, if things
decipher it, knowing after the fact. Yeah.
See if things will actually work out. They don't contradict themselves. I imagine that they do. I think everything that he probably had things in place, easy enough to do in a comic book form. But it's one of those things too, where you think he should have been smart enough to figure it out. Again, I'm not thrilled with the writing. He tries to do some things that don't, as far as humor, that don't always hit with me. And I'm not a huge fan of Ivan Coelho. He like I mentioned before in my FF reviews, he tends to make the females look too young looking, especially for this book. They seem out of character. But I'm still sticking with it. It's both this and the Amazing Spider-Man issues 19 to 20. I would have to give a get it, but not a strong get it. Let's just say that.
Gotcha. What issue number did you say this one was?
That's funny because the cover that I pulled didn't have the issue number, and my whole point was to go back and find out what the issue was, and I failed to do so. I think it's 4 or 5.
Okay.
So I have a big. I'm looking at my notes here, and I have a blank space where the number should be.
What'd you say? What were you getting ready to say, Mike?
Yeah, for these, I guess the reason to get it is because you have the first 21 issues of Amazing Spider-Man and the first 3 of this. So might as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much. So far, the overall storyline in the Amazing Spider-Man warrants it a continuing get it from me. The Fantastic Four is still too early. I'm still kind of feeling the book out, so it's still a get it, but I'm not totally on board with this, Ryan North's FF book here.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, so I continued my journey in Yoda. I read Yoda number 5 and Yoda number 6. And for these 2 issues, first of all, I got the A cover for both of them, which actually, both of them are fine, but they're definitely nothing special, But so these are definitely, since these are A covers, these are both Phil Noto art. And the interior art, like you were saying, Mike, since we're in this, 3-book story arc, we're in the second and third book of a 3-book story arc. They are both written by Jody Hauser, and the interior art is by Luke Ross. And to remind about issue 4, we're with Yoda trying to get Count Dooku to help train younglings. He agrees. So we're on Coruscant, and they're working together to train younglings. And as I mentioned before, this story arc is following 3 younglings. One of them is a Trandoshan, which is again Bosk's race, if you're not familiar. And then, of course, there's the Wookiee I mentioned on the right side of issue 6. And then on the left side of issue 6, the Wookiee's name is Krishish. And then I mentioned the third youngling, which is a tiger-looking race that I'd never seen before. Her name is Jackson, but it's not like Michael Jackson, like JAK''ZIN, Jackzin, like Qui-Gon Jinn, Jackzin, So anyway, and those are the 3 youngling we're following. And as I mentioned in issue 4, the Wookiee Kershish is having visions of his friend. The Trandoshan's name is Gare. Gheyr, Gare. I don't know. But he's having visions of Gare attacking Wookiees and killing the Wookiees. So he starts to become prejudiced against his friend. And that's kind of where issue 4 ended. And then we get into issue 5 where Krishish is talking to Dooku about his visions, and Dooku gives him the advice to essentially heed his visions as a warning and prepare yourself for if they come to fruition. Then he goes to Yoda for advice, and Yoda, I think, actually, I might have mentioned Yoda. He went to Yoda for advice in issue 4, and Yoda's doing the typical advice where it's, the visions are not exactly the way the future is going to be. It's just one of the possibilities. So don't react to it at all until it comes to fruition. Don't change what you're doing in your life in any way. Essentially saying, hey, still just trust Gare, and don't think anything negative about her. What you've seen in your visions should have no bearing on that whatsoever. And it doesn't change anything. He seems to try to resist being prejudiced against his Trandoshan friend, but he can't, essentially. So they go on a field trip from the Jedi Temple to Corvair, and again, in Yoda and all his wise ways intentionally is separating them from Coruscant and actually all the rest of the younglings, and himself actually too. Yoda kind of goes up on this prairie hill and starts meditating while he leaves the younglings to their own devices. And the Wookiee Krishish actually attacks his Trandoshan friend, like she's already done evil things. And she, of course, is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then he starts to tell her about his visions. So he is basically telling her, I have to kill you because this is what you're going to do. And then the Tiger Girl, Jackson, of course, is on the side of the Trandoshan girl. And she starts defending the Trandoshan girl. And so now the Wookiee and the Tiger Girl are both fighting as well. Yoda then comes along and breaks it up and, expresses his disappointment with the Wookiee and just sends him back to the Jedi Temple. You've got a lot to learn, essentially. And Jackson doesn't hate her friend, either one of them. She goes back to the Jedi Temple, but the Trandoshan actually decides that his visions, the Wookiee's visions, mean a lot to her as well. So she doesn't want to have what happens in his visions come to fruition. So she decides to take herself away from the Jedi Temple so she doesn't become a Jedi and then do all the horrible things that he sees her do as a Jedi, which was pretty interesting, and then after that happens, Yoda and Count Dooku are talking, and Count Dooku actually confesses to Yoda that Kershish actually told Count Dooku about the visions as well. And Yoda's like, you should have told me about this. And Dooku, essentially, this is where you start to see, that's one thing I like about these stories is even though this story was pretty simple and kind of uneventful, you kind of see the development of the characters we do know, like Dooku's opinions at this point, and I'm going to show this real quick too, because I thought this was interesting. If you didn't know, now you know what Sifo-Dyas looks like. There is a drawing of Sifo-Dyas. There is Count Dooku remembering what Sifo-Dyas looks like. And basically Dooku's response to Yoda saying, you should have told me, is I was trying to spare the Wookiee the same judgment that Sifo-Dyas has. They kind of teased us in issue 4 that Sifo-Dyas was out chasing his visions. And apparently Dooku feels like Sifo-Dyas was treated poorly because Sifo-Dyas was expressing what his visions were. So his reasoning for not telling Yoda was he was looking to spare the Wookiee from the judgment, essentially, that the Jedis give or place upon any of the Jedis that have these visions and want to actually and feel strongly about them, or whatever the case may be, So that was pretty interesting because you can kind of see Dooku's dangerous ways, I guess, for lack of a better way to describe it in that. And then to round out the book here, though, Pat, your prediction about the mysterious stranger that Yoda is talking to was Qui-Gon. Mine was Dooku. We still do not have the answer of who the mysterious stranger is, but I'm going to hazard to say I'm leaning more towards my prediction than yours because of this final panel of the book where we get back to Dagobah and all we see is the mysterious stranger say to Yoda, you can't ignore me forever. We both know it.
Yeah, some more threatening, sinister vibes.
Exactly, yeah. More than a friendly thing, yeah. So might still not be Dooku, but that definitely takes me more out of the possibly being Qui-Gon, reasons there, Yeah. But it was definitely nice thoughts with it. What'd you say, Mike?
Those are great panels. I really like the way that art looked.
Yeah. I mean, the art's definitely good in every issue I've read so far. And I definitely, I kind of gave an undecided to issue 4. I would say I'm going to kind of go back to what I gave the first story arc. I kind of feel the same way with the second story arc here with issues 4 through 6 that, the overall story was really underwhelming. So if you're a Yoda fan, get it. But if you ain't a Yoda fan, it's like, I don't know. But if I would give one of these 2 story arcs I've read so far, the nod to be closer to a get it than the other, it's definitely the second story arc because I thought the relationship with Dooku and Yoda with the younglings was pretty interesting because obviously we know all the future events that happen. So kind of plays out the way we kind of think. And I also, this is just total speculation or observation on my part. It really doesn't lead you to think like this in the comic, but I thought it was interesting, how this is how it always goes with Star Wars, where if the Trandoshan ends up being bad and learning bad things and becoming evil and attacking Wookiees in the future, it'll be because the Wookiee told her, kind of like how Anakin became Vader, right? He saw the visions. Obviously, Palpatine led him to believe the visions, that the only way to save her. Hey, what's up, Mangy Movies? What's up? But you know how it all plays out. If it wasn't for, if he wouldn't have acted on his visions, what happened in his visions wouldn't have come to fruition, right? So it's the same thing here. If the Trandoshan wouldn't have acted on the Wookiee's vision, if she does end up becoming bad, if she wouldn't have acted on Krishish's visions and left the Jedi Order, that's probably what's going to make her bad if she does become bad. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes.
Yep.
So, yeah, like I said, get it if you're a Yoda fan. If you're not a Yoda fan, I'm leaning into kind of take it or leave it. Doesn't really matter either way. So
I wanted to jump in real quick. Are you done?
I just want to say that I got issue 6. Now that what you said is true, Mike. I mean, not 6, but 7. But now that you said what you said seems to be true, I'm gonna wait until I get 8 and 9 to then even read the next story arc. So next week I made a commitment to you guys as well, because we were all wondering how good Vanish is. Next week I'm gonna read Vanish 1 and 2. So
okay. I think we're off next week.
Huh?
We're off next week.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Did we start to talk about that? So you're not good for Saturday.
Right. Next week is Mother's Day, so
You want the whole weekend. Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my wife wants the whole weekend.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So,
yeah, me and Pat talked about that, I think, a little bit before you came in, so I didn't mention that. We hadn't hashed that out, so that's fine with me though. You good with that too, Pat?
Yeah.
We asked Mike. All he said was,
"Oh, it must have been when you were in the midst of freezing." Yeah.
Seriously, that was a really good freeze too.
Yeah. It was.
But since we're off, I want to just throw out because it's going to be a few weeks, and I want to put this out there now so people can get it. But as a definite get, Astrobots #1, get it. I'm a quarter of the way through it. The reason I didn't review it is because the storyline is pretty complex, and as I was going, I'm taking it like this is going to be just too much. But with the artwork, fantastic. The story is awesome. It's a get it. So get it and read it. I think you guys both have it, or Kevin, you'll get it.
Yeah, I don't have it yet. I'm definitely gonna get it though. Yeah.
There's I think 5 copies in the box.
Okay.
So, it's funny. We talked about Whatnot's presence in stores. Yesterday was Free Comic Book Day, and I just happened to look to see if they had any copies of Astrobots at my local store.
Mm-hmm.
0.
Not
even a spot for it.
Wow. Do you have a relationship where you chat up any employees there at all?
No, I didn't even think to ask them.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got. When I put in our order, I got all the covers they had available. I think it was like 5 or 6 covers, 2 of each. One for me, one set for me, one set for Kevin, and then.
Oh, so that's what you mean when you went. Sorry about it. Go ahead.
So yeah, I went. I think there were only 2 copies in the shelf, so they may have had 12 for the store, and we got 10 of them.
So you're being literal when you said there's 5 copies. You put 5 copies in my box of the 12 you ordered or whatever.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I ordered 2 of everything, and I think there were 5 covers, so there are 5 in your box.
Got it. I can't wait. I got to get up there now. I'm even more excited to get up there.
Yeah.
And apprehensive of what my total bill would be because I haven't been there in 2 months. So
yeah, I would have grabbed them, but I hadn't been there for a while, and my total bill was
heavy too. Yeah.
make sure my wife wasn't listening. With discounts, 150.
Daggum.
Well, also the week before the time before I put back all the $5 and $7 books. I'm like, I can't get all these. So yeah, I kind of those chickens came home to roost this last week.
Adds up fast, but okay. So anyway, Mike's got to Forget It in all 8 eyes. Pat's got 2 Get It's, an Amazing Spider-Man and Fantastic Four. And I've got another Get It if you're a Yoda fan for Yoda. If you're not, kind of undecided, right?
Yep.
All right, moving on to the exciting. Nice, Karen. That was a perfect crowd. All right, Pat, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You got your water ready? All right, here we go.
All right. So it was May the 4th. You may have heard a little something about that this week. So guarantee we're going to have to talk some Star Wars. But before we do, let's start out with Hiya Toys. Anybody familiar with Hiya Toys? Kevin, you should be. I think.
Never heard of them.
Oh.
Maybe if I see them. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so I think Kevin has some of the 3 3/4 inch Hiya figures, Judge Dredd figures. This is they announced a 6-inch Judge Dredd figure, and it's a pricey one. He's coming in at $90, and I think he's sort of like the Mezco 112 line. You can see they're using soft goods. It almost reminds me a lot of the Judge Dredd 112 Mezco figure. But they're dipping their toes into the larger scale 6-inch figure realm.
Oh, daggum, that's my jam right there.
So do you have it's Hiya Toys, I believe, that makes the ones you have, right, Kevin? Have you opened them up or?
Yeah, I've got one. I can't remember what it is though. It's in my shed. I could go grab it in like 1 second. No. But it's smaller. It's definitely smaller.
Yeah. If you missed it, this is it's almost like the Mezco 112 Judge Dredd. He's very similar. And
that's awesome.
also similar in price. He's $90. So, there's you see everything he comes with.
That's very cool.
Man,
I don't know why there was 2 Judge Dredd magazines this month too. And one's double sized. I subscribe to Judge Dredd magazine every month now too to get the new latest Judge Dredd comics, and I got to start reading those too, man. I love Judge Dredd. I got to catch up on where he's at in the universe. Yeah. These are very cool.
Last week we showed the Wonder Woman Invisible Jet from McFarlane's Superpower line, and apparently that was like the tip of the announcement iceberg for McFarlane, because this week they announced sort of like a whole wave. So we're getting like a classic Batman. Looks very much like the old Superpowers Batman from Kenner. To go with him, we got the Robin. And to give them something to ride in, we've got the Batmobile.
Oh man. Can you go back to that Batman real quick?
Yep.
And then go back to the Robin. Like that cape kind of works around the neck with Robin, but go back to Batman. It's kind of funky, right? It's like goes up his head, right?
Yeah, it's very much in line with the original superpowers. That's kind of the way they did their capes. You have that big, like, plastic collar that snaps around their neck, and it kind of bunches up the fabric.
Yeah, it's okay, I guess. But that Batmobile.
And also, we got an Aquaman.
Man, I want to get my hands on one of those Batmobiles too. How are we going to do that unless someone forks? How much that Batmobile cost? Did you say?
They didn't have prices on when I was first pulling these. I think they've since gone up on McFarlane's site, but I neglected to go back and add prices for these guys.
You know, the Michael Keaton or the 1989 Batmobile, whatever. You know, maybe part of that one's problem is just that it's just obviously flat black. You know, so if it's like really hollow plastic and it's flat black, that would give it like a kind of a cheaper feel, because I like this one better. You know, it's kind of got flair. You know,
right.
So which in general though, I'm more of an 89 Batmobile. I like that Batmobile over this one. But what about you, Mike? You like this one a lot too? This is your jam, right?
Yeah, I was never a fan of the big face on the front. Even the really old school design with the bat face on the front. I don't take that off and I love it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Man, I want to get my hands on one. Okay, sorry, Pat. Continue.
That's all right. I was just trying to quickly look it up to see how much it was.
Oh, okay.
I may have to get that 89 Batman and the Matchbox car or the Hot Wheels car, and try to do a repaint.
Okay, so this lines up. I think all their vehicles are the same price point. It's $30.
That's not bad.
So yeah, $30 for the vehicles. There we have Aquaman with a bearded look, and another Wonder Woman. They just put out a Wonder Woman. This is a slightly different deco. I don't think the first one had a cape. Again, if you're not loving those capes. And then we got a group shot of this entire wave, if you want to call it. But then, the next day, go ahead. Do you have something on that?
I was just saying interesting. That's all. Yeah.
Batman looks like Bill Cowher, not Bruce Wayne.
Interesting. Yeah.
So the very next day they dropped this, and I'm not sure why they held off. Although they're saying this one's a Walmart exclusive. Then again, I've only seen these at Walmart, and that is Black Manta to go with your Aquaman.
Yeah, I like that. I like that better than Aquaman. That's for sure. Do they all have the same busts?
I'm sure they try to limit. Obviously, Aquaman has some, scalloping on his, his shirt, but they definitely, this is a line where they try to reuse parts. So,
I guess they are different enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I've been seeing, I don't know how well they're selling. I've been seeing a lot of the superpowers because I'm tempted to that current wave because I really like the Nightwing and Deathstroke figure.
Yeah.
And they seem to just be hanging around.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a catch-22, right? It makes you think, oh, I want to grab that before it's gone. But then if it hangs around, you're like, oh, I can wait. It'll still be here.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put it on clearance. Yep. As teased, the 7th can be super, as in Super 7 announced quite a few things this week, as they always do. And Mike actually posted to the Xcellar group, and this is the Conan the Barbarian. This is actually, I think, wave 4. They've done some Conan figures in the past, and this is in the, boy, I'm going to fail here. They're not reaction. It'll come to me eventually. This is their larger 6-inch, or actually their 7-inch line. So they're $55 a piece.
Jeez.
God. Oh, the ultimate line. Ultimates, they call these 7-inch figures.
All right, I got 2 things. Hold on.
Yeah.
Whenever you're done, Pat. Sorry.
Well, Well, yeah, we'll get through them, then you can comment. Here's the wave with all their accessories. The one thing that seems to have irked some people is the only way you can get that little battle pack of weapons is if you pre-order the entire wave for $220, and you get that little weapons pack.
All right. Well, that's a complaint and a not complaint. That's a complaint that you can't get it without getting the whole pack, but it's also a not complaint because at least if you buy all 4 in a pack, you get a bonus, which is I'm out, so.
Yeah. Here's how they come singly. There's the Conan figure, and there's a close up with all his swap out parts and accessories. So comments. Cool.
Yeah, those are so well done. They're great.
I love it. Yeah.
Did you have something to say about
Oh yeah. So 2 things. One, Mike posted this on the Xcellar group page.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I don't know if I think I sent it to you privately because I didn't want to.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Kind of. I figured if I send it to you and you thought it was interesting enough, you'd put it on the segment. So I didn't want to kind of advertise it, even if it's just our private group.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it was. It was like you better mention these because I want to see more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they are awesome. Yeah, I'd have been. That's why I was a little surprised. How did I miss that? But yeah, okay. Those are awesome. And then secondly, this is wave 4.
Yeah.
Are the previous 3 waves on like just Conan and his different mediums, or are they all Arnold, Conan the Barbarian? What are the other 3 waves? Do you know?
I'll have to get back to you on that, unless Mike looked into it.
No, I did not. I thought this was the first wave because it's the first time I've seen any of it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised too. The thing about Super 7's Ultimate figures is they're made to order, so you don't get a lot. It's hard to catch up without paying secondary market prices. So when you do a search for them, at least I did a search for them on Super 7's website, and I think like only a couple of the Wave 3 figures were still available to buy. So yeah,
what were they?
I think they were also Arnold Conan related.
I'm looking for Grace Jones. I need Grace Jones, and then what's his name? That little funny guy with the weird lisp or whatever he's got. I want those 2. I want these 4, and then I want those 2. So I'm hoping, Grace Jones was awesome in Conan. I thought I liked her character a lot. She was great. And then that, what I'm talking about, the funny guy with the lisp, but I can't remember his character's name.
Yeah, I'm in no help for you there, Kevin. I've never seen the Conan movies. And
Patrick, what the heck a 5?
It's weird. You have to understand a lot of these. I was not allowed to see. Conan was rated R, correct? I was not allowed. I don't even remember. I was not allowed to see any rated R movies when I was around this age when this movie was coming out. So there's a lot of these things that I missed and I never caught up on. So
yeah, we're going back to.
I mean, I love both Conan and Conan the Destroyer. I love them both a lot. So this will probably be the most expensive action figure I ever buy because I'm going to get this. Although I did like that $90 Judge Dredd as well. So, oh man, good stuff, Pat. Though good stuff. So. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll stick with Super 7, and I'm assuming since Mike has been attached to their mailing list, he's probably getting all this stuff. So none of these Super 7 things are probably going to be a big surprise to him. But I thought this was neat because it's comic related, and they're doing a line of pre-code horror figures. So there they are on card. Here we get the lineup. More close-ups of the figures. And I actually pulled the covers that these guys all come off of, so we can just run through those real quickly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's all great stuff.
Are those high dollar books too? Probably, right?
What's that?
Those are probably high dollar books too, right?
Pre-code horror is big time.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting. It's certainly just like everything else we talk about with Super 7. It's sort of a niche market, although you might get some, tangentially related people that like just like gross out figures and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it's neat that they're doing it.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, all these are just out of my price range. It's just.
Yeah, did you say the price?
I want these.
Yeah, so these are reactions, so they're at that $20 price point.
Yeah. And it's like if I get one, I need all four.
Right. Yeah.
And I just can't come off $80 out of the blue when I collect comic books.
Who we got here? We got Swamp Thing, Creature from the Black Lagoon. This is just your generic zombie from all zombie movies, and then kind of what is this more? Mars Attacks or
Mars Attacks?
Those are pretty cool though. Okay.
All right, and then finally, well, let's do a quick Marvel Legends. This is just an update because I had shown these figures in the past. Now they're shown in box, and that's the Bearded Thor and Destroyer 2-pack. There they are in the box, and here they are showing their limited accessories.
That Destroyer's a little out of scale.
You think?
He should be twice that big, shouldn't he?
I never thought he was that big. I think they portrayed him in the MCU as being this huge.
Oh, that's the part that's wrong, essentially.
Maybe. I'm not the biggest Thor expert, so
gotcha. That's a good Thor, though. I mean, that's a good Destroyer too. It just beside that Thor, he just looks too small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had shown previous pics of this Destroyer, and I was much more impressed. These ones don't really give you that great of a idea, I don't think, of he's pretty neat. They did him like translucent, and it gave him like the silver wash, and he looked cool in the previous photos I've seen of him. So we'll see what he turns out like in the end. This is something where I pick this up if I find it on clearance because I want that bearded Thor.
Yeah.
Walt Simonson looking Thor. Yeah, but it's the 2-pack is running you $60. So there's that too. It's Marvel Legends are typically $25 retail these days, and the Destroyer's a little oversized, so they're using that opportunity to charge you an extra $10, I guess.
Of course they are. Yep.
Yeah. So may the 4th be with you. What we wanted to finally get to here, and we got a lot of it. So a lot of new reveals. Ahsoka in her Padawan era form. She looks really good to me.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Absolutely.
She is out of box.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really well done. And just stop me if you want to comment any further on these because I got a lot to run through. This is an exclusive ARC Trooper 5s.
Uh-oh. That's Ty's favorite trooper. He's gonna definitely have to grab that one.
He's 28 for some reason, $3 more because he's an exclusive, I guess.
Because they know he's Ty's favorite. That's why.
Yeah,
they heard it on Comics and Collectibles and Crossbase.
There he is out of the box with his helmet removed.
Tyler actually has a 5s tattoo. I don't know whether you're aware of that.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
On his head?
No, not on his head. It's on his back. But he likes it because it's kind of a coded tattoo. You kind of have to know what it is or you wouldn't know,
Right. This is I'm just going to do this because it's in the middle of the mix here. It's a little off the beaten path. It's also Black Series, but it's the role play. And that is the Axe Woves helmet.
That's cool, but not on my radar. Yeah.
Yeah. Same deal. Yeah. Getting back to the figures. I think these two may have already been close or possibly out already. This is I'm kind of doing a gaming greats grouping here. They quickly showed these two, but then they started getting into new announcements. And this one I thought was really impressive was this Darth Malgus figure. Especially, I kind of limited myself to pics, but when they showed him out of box, he's like this very big, imposing figure. His breathing apparatus comes off. His lightsaber is a little oversized. He looks like a really cool figure. Not familiar with him. You probably are from the games, Kevin.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he's definitely epic. I've got a statue of him actually.
Okay, wow,
awesome. Tyler keeps wanting me to give it to him, but
yeah,
it'll be in my will.
Then we have a new General Grievous from Battlefront 2. He's
out of box, please. Out of box.
He's supposedly battle damaged.
Nice. I was hoping to be posed a little bit more there, but I'd like to see that all extended. That'd be cool. Yeah. That looks good.
Then we have a Darth Maul Old Master.
Getting off the beaten path a little bit, but where you are with Grievous. Mm-hmm. Man, when are we ever going to get Grievous's story? Do we know anything about Grievous's history yet?
Yeah. Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but you're right. We don't really know. I don't think we really know how he came to be.
Yeah. That's another journey I'd like to take. That's for sure.
Yeah. There he is out of box. Let me jump back up real quickly. We have a new Phase 2 clone trooper for army builders.
Yeah. Phase 2's always probably been my least favorite clone, just because it's like it's trying to be a stormtrooper. It's like more like a stormtrooper than the other clones. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't dislike it. It's just
People say we've had way too many Mandalorian figures, but now we have a completely new sculpt Din Djarin. This is Glavis Ringworld version. There he is. Sorry, in the box, out of the box comes the darksaber, removable knife, and his pistol in his backpack.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's weird because there have been so many Mandalorian releases, but this one looks great.
How's that? Okay, here we go. How's that backpack go on him with that cape? How's that? Yeah. I mean, how's that jetpack go on him with that cape? I want to see it with the jetpack. You have to take the cape off. What happens to the cape if you leave it on with the jetpack? That whole thing I was mentioning. I don't know why this is a focal thing for me, but I can't help but focus.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. This again, out of order a little bit here, but this is a Shop Disney exclusive. This is based on a Galaxy's Edge. Is that what they call the land in Disney World? Galaxy's Edge.
Yep.
This guy, I'm not familiar with him. His name is Doc Ondar. Doc Ondar. There he is, out of the box. They don't do too many of these Black Series exclusives to the parks and online. So, this may actually be the first and only so far that they've tied to the park itself and as an exclusive.
Okay, he's got a Jedi holocron and a Sith. He's got both. And what's up with the clone head?
I don't know.
He looks cool though. Hammerhead's always been one of my favorite outside the mainstream characters. So this race has always been attractive to me as well. They're awesome. Yeah. And did you see the not the Clone Wars cartoon, but when they did the Clone Wars, when they did it on Cartoon Network, where they did 10 minutes at the beginning of every on Friday night, they did 10 minutes for 6 weeks in a row to create the original Clone Wars. They're completely different art style. Remember those?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember what his ability was?
I don't.
His ability. They're like banshees. They can super, blow your socks off with a scream and this like epic noise. It's really cool. It's really
okay.
Cool. Anyway, I gotta have that.
I initially I had this written down as he was $25, the same as any other Black Series figure. But then I clicked the link to Shop Disney. He's $45. So I don't know where they're getting their extra, It's, because it's exclusive, I guess they're charging extra for them, a lot extra. It's ridiculous. $20 extra.
Maybe you can get them 25 in park, but 20 on or 45 online. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe you might be onto something.
Yeah.
Don't know. Here we have a lot of Return of the Jedi. This kind of confuses me because they've been doing a lot of the retro packaging, 40th anniversary of Jedi on the retro cards. Here they're coming out in box form, and this is, Endor Leia, Prisoner Chewie with the collar around him, and Wicket. Yeah, so.
Hey, since the oversized figures are more expensive, is Wicket cheaper?
Oh, no, Kevin.
Come on, don't use common sense on this.
This that all kind of plays into what I've brought up a couple times previously, where they price out the entire wave, so much is allotted for the entire wave, and then they find ways to cut corners, and and this is one way they do it. Less plastic.
Yeah, I like Wicket.
Then we had a Magna Guard reveal. Everybody seemed to be really happy with this.
Looks cool. Yeah.
Here he is out of the box, sort of showing his posability.
Oh, does his weapon have changeable ends, apparently?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yep. There's some effects that get put on there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Also, the box version shows like a cape, a little half cape or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And then they had a reminder that season 2 versions of the Bad Batch figures were going up for pre-order on Walmart.com. So they're getting you again all over with all 5 of these with slightly different decos.
With subtle changes. Yeah.
Yep. And those $28 each, because they're getting you with that little exclusive tax. And then they had the last thing for Black Series was some reveals. These are archive figures, which means they've been previously released. Now they're doing them on, well, this used to be unique. They put them on cards, but now they do that with the retro. But these are going to be on like the regular Star Wars Black cards. So these are all re-releases. Just to keep them out, keep them in circulation for new collectors.
Gotcha.
And then these are all brand new reveals of upcoming figures. Although, and I kept seeing people make the same mistake. Carson Teva there, the guy who we can never remember his name.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, so excited. Yeah, he's finally a Carson Teva figure. Well, it's not a Carson Teva figure. It's a Carson Teva X-Wing helmet. Yeah.
That sucks.
Then we'll wrap it up with Vintage Collection. This is set 2 of the retro box sets. $70 for these 6 figures.
Yeah, I saw those. I mean, it's pretty cool, but I don't know,
One of the things they were trying to sell you on this set is that C-3PO and R2 are vac metallized, that chromium looking plastic, which they don't do too much of anymore. Then they showed an Ewok animated series 2-pack.
Oh, those are pretty cool. With coins.
Yep. They come in this box. They're together in this box, and then there they are, individually carded.
Amazing.
Nice.
Mainline vintage, Star Wars vintage, Grand Inquisitor from Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No. I don't like that guy.
Then we got this 2-pack of Luke and Grogu, which lot of accessories here. You know, you get the little frogs and the little effects to show them floating, and we also get, you know, the choice of the lightsaber or the Mandalorian chainmail.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
This is a Target exclusive. And then we got a speeder bike set from Mandalorian with the Scout Trooper and Grogu. And you can see, like we talked about before, they're making an emphasis to show you that the Scout Trooper comes carded inside the box.
Mm.
And there he is with the, you know, the little satchel with Din Grogu.
That's the one that started all for me. That's my favorite Imperial Trooper. I love the Scout Troopers. They're awesome.
Yeah. And then finally, they announced that the next HasLab, which is the Hasbro crowdfunded effort, famously we can remember where the Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes car did not make funding. This is going to be a Star Wars vintage series HasLab. They are not announcing what it is at this time. It will be announced at San Diego Comic-Con.
Ah. Oh man, when is that? Do you know?
A couple months. It's usually in the late summer, I think.
Mm. It's probably gonna be something that's awesome.
Inexpensive.
Yeah, inexpensive. Yeah.
You know, I think I saw just randomly. I saw something throw out that it's going to be a sand crawler, whether that's insider knowledge or not. But yeah, that's up their alley with things that would be hard to put out in mass market, and they would need crowdfunded. So yeah, that's a good guess.
Yeah, that'd be awesome too. That's again one of my favorite original toys. Yeah, I had a sandcrawler, troop transport, and a sandcrawler.
Yeah,
those are my biggest vehicles I ever had as a kid.
So. And that's it for this lengthy Star Wars infused. May the Fourth be with you. Horizon.
Well, that was epic. I'm telling you, you know, and I don't think that was especially lengthy. I mean, I feel like everything's lengthy. I feel like the show's feeling exceptionally lengthy because of the because we spent so much time in Cover Combat, which is a little unusual for us. We usually roll through Cover Combat pretty fast, but we had a lot to say today for this round of Cover Combat. San Diego Comic-Con, apparently, July 19th through July 23rd. You nailed it, Pat. Yeah. All right. Yeah, like I said, lengthy show. We'll try to recap this real quick. Are you guys ready for a speed challenge recap?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Hey, before we start, I'm going to start making sure, because I've failed with this recently. Karen's in our circle here, so it'll be Mike, Pat, me, then Karen, then Mike. Okay, we'll do it like that. Go, Mike.
Okay. This was mentioned, but I wanted to say this during your Silo review. Rashida Jones. I think it's interesting. I didn't realize this when she was on The Office and Parks and Rec and stuff. But that's Quincy Jones's daughter. You guys,
Quincy Jones's daughter?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's good. That's good in case you didn't know, right there. Yeah. Nice.
Nora Jones' sister. I don't know if it's full sister or half sister. Yeah.
Shut the front door. Learn something new every day at XcellarComics. Okay. Nice. Was that your recap, Pat?
My recap is sound effect timing is hard.
Yes.
It is. Sweet Tooth ain't all that sweet.
Ooh.
That's rough.
Karen, got one? Karen says Apple is better. Okay.
Yep.
Opinion-based
Apple-
recap. You got it.
Apple's like Target and Netflix, Walmart. Right? Or
I
Prime.
guess.
Yep. The Cover Combat 4 round 1.2 is live on Xcellar Facebook page.
Nice.
So you can vote now.
We found out that apparently Kevin's Francisco Mattina covers are better than your Francisco Mattina covers, and he's going to prove it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our viewers apparently have bad taste when it comes to Buscema covers. That's for sure. Jeez, oh man. Karen? Come on, legends, claim your prize. Exactly. Good one, Karen.
Yep. My last one, it's after you watch the Silo TV show, go read the books. They're great. They're all-time favorites. Top 5.
My wife concurs with that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have anything else. I'm good.
All right, just to recap the Get It, Forget It then is Yoda's a man to get it for Yoda fans, and Amazing Spider-Man is a get it, Fantastic Four is a get it, and All 8 Eyes ain't a get it. That's a forget it. So, and then Karen, did you have another one? Karen's done as well. Mike?
Yep. Astrobots is a get it, even though it wasn't reviewed.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a get it.
And definitely an after the fact, May the 4th be with you, and a lot of awesome Star Wars, Conan, and Judge Dredd to be had soon. Make sure you keep all that on your radar on the horizon. I'm surely going to do that. That's for sure. So, and check out what I have to watch next week. I'd like to start getting feedback on what I watched from other people that watch it, especially viewers. And please comment when we're doing these reviews and everything, anything you'd like to see reviewed. Like Mike was saying earlier, and we talked about before, that we'd love to just review and read what other people are asking us to get specific ones. That'd be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that'll do it for the recap then. Let me see if I can manage to roll through this quick in our marathon show here. Please like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. Please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Spotify for podcasters or many other podcast providers. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that'll be posted later today or tomorrow. Follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter. And follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. Watch our shows on the Whatnot app. I'm just kind of giving it a blanket weekdays at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can bookmark those shows now. You can bookmark tomorrow. I've got it scheduled already, but I just kind of put a generic weekdays because it changes kind of on the fly for me, which kind of just goes with whatever my life allows. So I will try to do it as much as I can, essentially. And every show, like if you bookmark Monday's show now and come check me out, I will definitely, prior to a show starting, have the next show scheduled. So you'll know when the next show is, because I like to talk that up during the show. Check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and our website, XcellarComics.com, which I just did a lot of updating on that over the last couple of days too. I think it not only looks a little better, the information is more accurate, and it definitely looks a lot better on the mobile. So check that out. And then lastly, watch our next live stream. It's not actually next Sunday because we didn't actually hash that out before we started with having technical difficulties and everything. So we're skipping next week because of Mother's Day, so we can appreciate all the mothers in our life for the entire weekend. So watch our next live stream on YouTube or Facebook the Sunday after next, which will be perfect too. That'll give Legends. You got the specific, is it Legends _A_G? Mike, is that what it was? Do you have that handy right now so I can see it one last
no,
time?
I've deleted it. I've deleted it from my computer.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely make a post for all of our social media and send Legends a message that hopefully we can get those prizes for the Scruffles Gold giveaway out to someone soon. But also Scruffles Goals 2 has officially started today, and all you have to do to enter is do one of those things in the Scruffles acronym and send us a message somehow saying I keep adding on to this, but it's not really an ad, it's just a clarification. Is in the message you send to us that you want to be entered in the giveaway, also state, hey, I follow you on Instagram and I want to be in the giveaway. Something like that. I liked your Twitter post. I want to be in the giveaway. That's as simple as that. That's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
And all I can say about the prize for Scruffles Gold giveaways too is it's going to be bigger and better than Scruffles giveaway 1 for when we hit 150 subs on YouTube. Okay.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. It was still a great show. I mean, I know it feels like it's so long, but man, it's great stuff. I definitely watch and listen multiple times every week. So everyone else definitely should as well. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
And stay tuned for all the awesome posts from especially Pat. Great stuff. And I had multiple books worth over $20 not sell for $1 on my Whatnot show. So come rob from me on the Whatnot show, please. Okay. Mike's like shaking his head. No, don't do that. Yes.
Yeah, don't do that.
Anyway. All right. So that'll do it. You guys got anything else?
No.
Nope.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you to Karen for your great behind the scenes work. And until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.